set. Places, everybody. And action.
What's going on, everybody? So kind of an impromptu live stream. Obviously, this is going to be for those of you that watch the replay, because usually most people aren't on here the second you go live. Actually, yeah, not just yet. But I have a couple of fragrances from Sensual Obsessions that came in earlier this week. Haven't had an opportunity to open them just yet. I don't know exactly what they are. I like to do this stuff as blind as possible. And instead of just recording something, I felt like probably be a little bit more fun to do something in a live format. So here we are. I did invite a few people to come on in a little while, so you may see a few people pop in and out, and we'll just do the usual, random lively chat. People are starting to jump on. I appreciate all of you that have jumped on so far. Let's see. All right, so what's going on, fellas? I appreciate everybody jumping in. Love from California. I appreciate that. Thank you. And yeah, so I got a few people that confirmed, just in case they end up not being able to make it. I'm not gonna say who is and who isn't coming on here just yet. But like I said, we're gonna go ahead and get into this. I'm gonna grab this one first, and I have no clue what the hell it is. Kevin had reached out to me, asked me if I was, because he changed his labels in his bottles recently. Asked me if I was interested in, having him send a little package to me. And I said, you know what, why not? I said, but the thing is, I have clones coming out of my ears. So maybe send me some hybrids or some stuff like that. Let's mix it up a little bit. And so this is supposed to be some hybrids, supposedly. He made a huge transformation over the past year trying to do the same. So I'll, let's see, Captain Coke, what's going on? As far as my diet, make sure to follow my fitness IG. That's in my link tree, which actually, before I forget, because clearly I am forgetting, copy. Go ahead and put that in here, and I am going to pin that. It won't let me. I guess if I star it, maybe. For some reason, it's not letting me pin it. But my fitness IG page is in there, and I make random posts here and there about my diet, what I eat. Lately I've been eating close to maintenance, but prior I was eating 1,800 calories. It's here and there. I go back and forth where my appetite's up, and then I can suppress it a little bit and eat a few hundred calories in a deficit. So I kind of fluctuate between a couple weeks of being in a deficit and then a couple weeks of being in maintenance. So why some weeks the veins will pop in my arms more than others, basically, is how you can look at it. So we're going to jump into this one first. See what the hell we got here. So this is Lost Cola from Sensual Obsessions. I can get it to focus. That would just be fantastic. There we go. I have no idea what the hell it is. It's a hybrid of some sort, though, for sure. Let's give it a spray and see what it's all about here. Definitely like the new caps. Slide on and off real easy. Let's check out the new atomizers. Solid, not pressure sensitive or anything like that, but they're decent. On average, Joe in the house, what's going on, my man? It's very familiar. It's Lost Cherry mixed with something else. Not sure exactly what, but definitely Tom Ford Lost Cherry mixed with something else. Stacks in the house, what's going on, my man? I can't pinpoint what the part is, but I can tell you right now, the lost part with the cherries on the label is for Tom Ford's Lost Cherry. There we go. Now it's focusing. Definitely some Lost Cherry in here. Don't try it too sweet. Yeah, it's very sweet. It's very, very sweet. Leans a little on the feminine side. So like it's got a high percentage of Tom Ford Lost Cherry. There's something sweet and boozy about it, but I can't pinpoint what sweet, boozy fragrance it would be. Part of me wants to say it's a little bit of Enigma from Roger Parfums, but not necessarily. It does have a little bit of that sweet, boozy cognac type of smell, so that might be what the hell it is. I'm not sure. Not a fan of most sweet fragrances, comes off too feminine to you. Hey, I understand. That's how a lot of guys are. A lot of guys don't like sweet fragrances, and then there's a lot of guys that do. It's kind of a pretty even split from what I've seen for the most part. Yeah, this isn't something I could see myself wearing, but I think Heidi would be interested in this. She's more into fruity florals than just boozy sweet type of stuff, or just fruity sweet. So I don't know. I'm gonna let her try this. She might like it. It smells good, but it's not something I'm gonna wear. I feel like it's definitely a little too feminine for my taste. This coming from a guy that loves florals, I know. But it's okay. Definitely smells of solid quality. Lost Cola from Sensual Obsessions. All right, we'll go ahead and put that to the side real quick. Let's grab another one. Just tried Lacoste L'Homme Intense, and wow, is it amazing. Get so many compliments. So I have the original. So according to Ghazi, it's Enigma. Very well could be. That's the only thing I could think of was it's Lost Cherry mixed with Enigma. So here we go. We have a gold line fragrance that is the Cigar King. That's what it's called. I have no idea what the hell this is. I would have, obviously it's a tobacco fragrance, but I don't know what tobacco fragrance. So we'll see. Florals are okay for me when mixed with citruses. Oh yeah, that's the way to go. And I had somebody message me on Instagram earlier. Lives in Texas. Forgot his name. My apologies if you're watching. Asking my opinion. He's got a spring wedding to go to, and he said he has a space to me. And I said, well, I'm not sure what you have available, but if you have something fresh with florals, that's what I would think in Texas spring weather, which is like summer for a lot of places. I think something fresh with some florals would be good for a nice outdoor spring wedding. Two good sprays. Hello from Algeria. How are you? Let's see. We got super sweet tobacco. This is a Ventus. A Ventus mixed with something. So we have one of our special guests coming on. So I'm just a few more minutes. I'm going to go through these real quick and then I'll bring him on. So special guest, I know you can hear me. Just hold tight for a little bit. Damn, this is good. This is damn good. It's big time smoky Aventus with some underlying tobacco, but it's different. It's very fruity and smoky. Like this is definitely King of Kings, which is Sensual Obsessions version of the 13ZZ01 batch of Aventus. So this is King of Kings mixed with a specific tobacco, but I'm not sure. Or it might just be King of Kings with tobacco because I don't distinctively get any specific tobacco fragrance from it, but I get it's tobacco Aventus is what it smells like to me. This is pretty damn nice. This is different. I've never smelled a tobacco Aventus. Henry, how are you, my man? Dizzy, what's going on? Lance, yeah, you finally caught one. Nice to have you, man. Lance has messaged me a bunch of times after the fact. Like, man, I missed the stream again. Damn, this is really good. I'm digging this. Like I said, I've never smelled a tobacco version of Aventus, so this is pretty damn solid. Digging it. So we'll just do one more since I have somebody waiting. I don't want to keep them waiting too long. So we'll do 3 out of the 4. Quite curious. So far, so good. Lost Cola, not really for me. The Cherry Blues, another gold line blend. So I don't know. Obviously, it has cherry in it. I'm not going to automatically assume that it's Tom Ford, though it could be. The Cherry Blues. I have no clue what the hell that could be. Captain and Coke. Yeah, absolutely. I'm definitely going to be watching. And then I will be watching AEW Revolution tomorrow. This is a cigar fragrance too. It almost smells like Guerlain L'Homme Ideal EDP mixed with some tobacco. Like not Guerlain Ideal Extreme. Like it doesn't smell exactly like that. Huh. Yeah, I figured that would pop you, Joe. Talking about AEW. Huh. It's a dry aromatic tobacco, but like a little bit more herbal and leafy than it is super like moist and sweet, I guess you could say, but there's still sweetness. But it doesn't come across as a moist tobacco to me. But there's something kind of boozy here that's creeping in too. This is different. This is different. It's not getting me, Tim, nice to have you. It's not getting me super excited like the Cigar King did, because it's, I mean, Tobacco Aventus. I mean, come on now. This is, I don't know how I feel about this. It's okay, but it's not like exciting me. So. What do you think about Azaro Chrome Legend? I actually did a first impressions on that a while back, and I featured 2 or 3 videos maybe. It's an easy wear, super synthetic and metallic, but it's nice overall. It's just not something super special. We'll go ahead and do the 4th one real quick. Another gold line. Okay, so it's Elysium mixed with something. Elysima? I have no idea. So I'm already excited because it's got Elysium in it, but we'll see. So far, Cigar King is the highlight. That's different. This one's pleasant, very fresh. I mean, it's got an Elysium base here. There's something grounding it, giving it earthy tones. I don't know what the hell that could be. It's not as heavy of an Elysium blend as I thought it would be. Whatever is in here definitely grounds it and takes away some of the brightness that Elysium's famous for. Like, it still smells like Elysium, but it's a completely different version of Elysium. And I can't quite pinpoint what it is. This is definitely a bit nicer than the last one to me, which was the Cherry Blues. That one's okay, but nothing special here either, honestly. Now, granted, this is all on paper. On skin, it's going to tell a different story. So I want to smell the Cigar King again. Yeah, that's a good one. I like that. Yeah, the takeaway from this for me is, if you're looking to get something different, a blend from Sensual Obsessions, check out the Cigar King. This stuff's really good. I like this. Tobacco Aventus. It is a Tobacco Aventus, the Cigar King. Like the new labels and the new bottles and everything, though. Definitely an upgrade. Yeah, this is good. I'm going to be wearing this over the next couple of days. This is definitely the one that intrigues me and makes me want to wear it for sure. So yeah, the Cigar King, that's the one to check out. So I am not going to leave this gentleman waiting any longer. Some of you may know him, some of you may not. But we have Mr. Brian from My 2 Cents. What's going on, my man?
What's going on, dude? Sorry, I was sitting there watching dodgeball, man.
Yeah, sorry. So I didn't realize how quick you were going to come on. That's why I was like, man, let me hurry up. I didn't want to make you just keep sitting there waiting, you know?
You're cool, man. I was like, I'll just throw on dodgeball while I'm sitting here waiting.
I got a question for you. So I turned up my mic volume a little higher than I normally do. Am I loud?
You are through my headphones. Yeah, I had to.
Okay, so I need to turn it down a little bit. How about now? Yeah. Is this better?
Hang on, I'm going to turn you. Say something.
How about now? Is this better?
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, because I came down 2 notches. So
yeah.
So excited. Kyler's excited to see you. He screamed Brian in the comments.
What up, Kyler? Good to see you, buddy. How's everybody doing today? Thanks for having me, Ross.
Oh, no problem, man. No problem. We got a few more that may or may not pop in. The one that couldn't make it for sure that I did invite was Ogun, Quality Fragrances. He's got a bunch of shit going on. He said he wasn't going to be able to make it. I felt like it'd be nice. I've never had him on the channel outside of a few group collaborations, and he's changed his setup recently. I always love his content, love him. So I asked him if he wanted to come jump on. Joe's excited to see you too.
What's up, Joe? Yeah, we were supposed to do a live today, this evening, and I guess I'll tell Joe. I'll break the news. I said I had something to do. I'm going to go see Batman tonight. So I'm a huge Batman and Superman buff. So I was like, shit, it's coming out. I'm going to go see it Saturday.
Well, I know everybody gets, like, Saturday night's a big deal more so than Saturday. So I felt like now's a good time. Maybe people are kicking it around the house before they go do whatever they have planned. Felt like midday would be a good time to do the live stream. It was kind of impromptu. I last night decided, hey, I'm going to do this tomorrow because I had these fragrances I wanted to do. And I figured, have a few people on. Why not? Instead of just me, like most of them, you know?
Yeah, man. I like those new Sensual Obsession bottles. They look good.
Yeah, man. Cigar King, telling you. I like this stuff.
Yeah, man.
It's a like I feel like the black currant's dialed up here more than the pineapple. It's got that tart fruitiness with a lot of tobacco.
yeah, I need to try
It's
some of
really good.
need to try some of his hybrids. I've only tried, his inspired expression. So
Well, I've tried some of his original blends from a couple years ago, back when he did like Baccarat Rouge 540 mixed with the Ventus and stuff like that.
yeah,
But he's changed his oils over the years, and it's higher quality than it used to be. And that was the thing. I've got so many clones, and look, it gets to a point to where you don't want to wear them, especially if you have the originals.
yeah.
So that's what I told him, man. Just send me some of the blends. That's something different. If you want to send me something, send me the blends, and we'll talk about those on the channel and see
I'm
what I
all
like and don't like.
Yeah, man, I'm all about hybrids. I love Dua's hybrids. I got some of Sammy's from Sammy Andres
Mhm.
in the mail, and man, I'm thoroughly impressed because I'd never tried anything from Sammy. And
Blue
he sent me
Sapphire, man. That is my favorite Elysium clone.
dude, my favorite that he sent me is Colonel.
hmm
Oh my god, because I
haven't
love
tried that one. Oh wait, no, I do have that one. I do have that one.
it's Chanel Coromandel, and I
Mhm.
love that fragrance. I only have a decan of it, but now I'm like, do I spend the $250? This is good. This is really good.
Yeah, Sammy uses pretty good quality oils too, for sure.
Oh yeah, I can definitely tell.
Yeah.
Uh,
Still what I would call clone level oils. That's kind of a term I came up with, where it's not synthetic like designer, but it's not niche level type of luxury stuff either.
yeah,
But I would say more on the higher end of what I would consider clone level oils.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I do have a lot of clones too, and I don't ever wear them.
I wear certain ones. I do. Now I don't wear them as much as I used to. I mean, it's just I randomly get in the mood for stuff. It's not like I used to plan to wear stuff, but it's a lot less planning now and more just whatever I see first, and it says sure why not. In the back of my mind, I say sure why not. That's kind of just the way it happens.
Roma from Heaven just said he just finished watching my review of Drakkar Intense.
Well, there you
Uh,
go. I
thanks.
saw it pop up in my feed too when I was setting this up.
I don't
I
rant.
haven't watched it yet.
I haven't rant. I don't rant very much, and I had to rant a little bit. So,
Was it a good rant or a bad rant?
first off, shout out to Dan Malik for.
We'll do that. I'll get to Dan. I'll get to Dan.
Okay.
I'm not going to drop everything. You know what I mean? I wanted to get to Kyler's comment since he was asking specifically about the Ani and Hasavat hybrid.
Yeah. I mean, Drakkar Intense is what it is. I'm just not impressed. It disappointed me. But
I like
other
it,
than
man.
that, yeah, it's a good fragrance. It is. I think I was expecting too much.
That might be what it is, because
a
lot of people really like it, and there is the fair share of people that are like, meh, okay, But I mean, for a new release, it's been a while since they've done anything in the Drakkar line, and I like it better than Noir. I've never tried the original. I've never tried Essence, because Drakkar Noir kind of, I don't need to try Essence. That's what Noir made me do. But I was just for some reason excited about this one, and it ended up being about what I expected for the most part, a little sweeter than I anticipated in the dry down. But I actually really enjoy it. I really do.
Yeah.
I've been liking it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hell yeah, man. That's
Well,
what
I
it's
could
all
see
about.
why I could see why it underwhelms some people, though.
Yeah, I think I wore the crap out of Drakkar Noir. I still like wearing Drakkar Noir.
Mhm.
And I think the big thing was I was like, it doesn't make sense to me, honestly, as being an intense. There's so much about it. Like as coming from a marketing standpoint, I'd be like, why didn't you just make Drakkar Noir intense? Why go all the way
I'm
back
surprised they didn't do that, or like a
exactly?
parfum version.
Well, you don't even need to see my review now, you dude. You just
Oh, you
nailed
said
it.
that? Oh man.
That's my entire thing. I was like, I don't get it. It's not intense. It's not close to the original, so I've heard. I've never tried the original. I was like,
Yeah, I've
but
never either. That's been
every
discontinued for so many years. It's unreal.
since 1980, since Drakkar Noir.
Yeah. So there you go.
Made it 10 years, and then Noir came out and took over the world. Everybody and their mother wore that fragrance. Seriously, I mean, they did. I think the only person that didn't is my dad. He didn't like Drakkar Noir. Still doesn't. Anyway,
I wasn't a big fan of it. I don't hate it. I mean, I had a bottle in the past. I just never rebought it. Now we're getting to my man Dan. I'm sorry, Dan. No offense, my brother. Leighton or Percival, regardless of season, or just which do you like the most kind of thing. You want to take this one first?
Man, I, honestly, okay. So let's see. Without regard to season, I would pick Lake. I could wear.
Part of me really wants to say Leighton, but I've really been enjoying Percival lately. I really have, more than I thought I would.
I'm thinking about picking that up this year. I don't know.
I think I still have to go with Leighton though. It's like I'm very torn. I'm sure you can tell. I'm very torn right now because I've been wearing the hell out of I've been wearing Percival every week since I got it, and I like it more and more. It's more versatile for sure. If you're looking for versatility, that's the way to go. But if you're just looking for what I think flat out just smells better, I gotta lean to Leighton.
I'm gonna have to be there. I like. I mean, like I said, I might get it this year. Sedley's been my go-to. I love Sedley.
Sedley's one of the best of the house.
Well, yeah, and I have the version, because they amped it up with Ambroxan in what 2020.
2020.
Yeah, 2020. So I have
I have the newer one too.
Yeah, and Greenlee. My friend picked up Greenlee. She sent it to me, and I was like, "Holy crap!" I love
that too,
dude. It's so good. I can't wait to wear it.
Well, the thing, people knock a lot of these newer releases from PDM because they're basically just more powerful designer fragrances, and I get that. But man, Greenlee too. Like I normally have a different fragrance when I get out the shower in the evening. Greenlee in this week's rotation is the only one that I didn't wear something else that evening. I wore Greenlee again when I got out the shower.
Yeah.
So I'm really feeling it that day if I double up on the use. So
I mean, it's the perfect time. I mean, dude, it's 73 here today.
Well, it's actually going to snow tonight, and we're going to have like highs in the 20s and the teens over the next week. We went from it was 70 degrees 2 days ago to now it's about to be winter blizzard weather again all week. Like I went ahead and I finally was able to ride my bike. It's been weeks. Now I had to put the bike back in the garage because this next week it ain't going to happen. Because once it snows, a good amount of snow, that shit stays on the ground for a week over here.
Yeah. Tennessee is very PMSy. It'll be 73 today, and tomorrow will be 22. Like, what? Seriously? Come on, man. And then there's no spring. It's like 1 week of spring, and then it's like, hey, here's 90 degrees with 100% humidity.
Yeah. So we have another special guest waiting in the wings. I'm going to catch a few of these comments to catch up real quick. Let's see. Just real quick, I'm a Dragon Ball Z guy, Dragon Ball Universe. As far as animated series manga, that is me. Dan, it surprised me too, more than actually where I'm at with it. That's why I asked Percival's best take on that DNA and scent profile. Yeah, people just want to say, oh, it's too expensive because it smells like Legend. I've been getting a lot of that in the comments when I talk about it, or scent of the day posts and stuff like that. And it's like, man, just get a sample. Just get a damn sample. And you understand why I'm digging it. I'll throw my bottle of Legend away quick if I got to choose between the two. It's way better, in my opinion, of course. But yeah, it's way more expensive. But if you're on a budget, Legend's fine. But if you got the money to spend, Percival's way better.
And you can find it at discounters for stupid cheap. I'm just saying.
I got it from Steve for like $140 for a 75 ml. It was a really good price. Yeah. And it you don't need but a 4 spray. I had to dial back the sprays. I was doing 5, now I'm doing 4 because it fills a room.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
crazy strong.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's a lot with like PDM. I actually Justin's review on what he just did, talking about like your luxury and niche.
Yeah, this isn't niche. yeah, these are not niche.
I was like, that is a perfect example. That's it.
And I agree with him to a certain extent. That's why I even mentioned that a lot of people knock PDM because they're like expensive designers, but man, they're better than most designers in my opinion. They're a higher end designer is kind of how you can look at it. But we have a gentleman waiting in the wings. I believe you're pretty familiar with him. He's a friend to the channel and a friend to the community as a whole, Mr. George Zaharoff, who is playing on his phone.
Georgie boy.
How are you?
How are you, George?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Always a pleasure to have you, my friend.
I don't know how to fix.
What's wrong?
Even this out so I could see you guys. It's okay.
Can't see us?
I can't.
Really?
I don't know. I just don't know how.
Oh, you just got to swipe.
Leave it to me Yeah,
Are
you
you on?
see I'm
Oh wait,
swiping.
we're on StreamYard. I'm thinking Zoom. My
I
bad.
don't know how. Anyway, it's fine.
I don't think you can on StreamYard.
How's everyone doing? Hi, Ross. Hi, Brian.
Doing very well. How are you?
Doing great.
Whatever. So I thought I would come in very briefly and say a quick hello. It's beautiful out here in Chicago. It's like 70 something degrees.
Mm-hmm.
High weather. I'm having great weather too.
Chris, where are you again? Brian, where are you?
Whatever.
I was thinking of Chris, the
From last
Fox's
night.
I was just
Yeah,
Oh,
from last night.
texting
I'm
him.
in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Chattanooga. So it's nice there. It doesn't get cold snow, does it?
Yeah, we got snow this year. Yeah.
This year, but not. You get every year.
No.
Okay.
No. I think last. No, I think this. No, it was last year. Last year it was like 75 degrees on Christmas. So yeah,
Wow, that sounds like Christmas in the South,
it was
Like-
great.
way south,
That sounds like
Texas,
yours, Ross.
Louisiana.
And
Yeah.
we're in Houston.
Yep, it's exactly
got-
right. Because I was wearing shorts for Christmas this year when I went to my uncle's. Mhm.
I don't know how, because this is the first time that you're living in a cold climate, right?
Yeah, this is my second winter because
I
we
don't know
moved
how-
right before winter last year. I love
So-
it.
So you guys
Man,
were
I love
talking.
Colorado.
You guys were talking about clones.
We started off with that, some hybrids of some clones, and then took a few questions from the audience, and everybody seems pretty happy to see you for
Hi,
the most
Ru.
part.
Hi, everybody. Shout
Captain
out.
Coke, Joe.
Hi, Captain. Love Captain. Joe. Hi, Joe. All the beautiful people. Look at this.
Yeah, everybody's excited to see you, my man. Jonathan, what's going on, my man?
Jonathan,
Most-
good to see you.
Most stylish man in Fragcom, Georgia
think?
Hoff.
Oh, stop.
Oh, posh.
How do you really feel? Enough
Yeah,
about
exactly.
me. What do you think about me?
Yeah, he's meh.
Just
You know,
stop.
he's okay.
This old thing.
Yeah,
So
I've heard some okay things about him.
yeah, I've heard he's okay. He's all right. So, what do you have going on this afternoon, George?
I have to tell you that I'm a little, it's not all happy smiles, right? Actually, I'm a little bit, I'm almost at the burnout rate at the tail, like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel very stretched.
Well,
I
you've
think
been
they've
running
been
hard for the
twice.
last 2 weeks or so.
Yeah, I've been on even before then, but in the beginning of February, it's been nonstop for me. And I think I'm getting a little sicky. So I wanted to just lock myself up in a room and play Angry Birds and
Yeah.
just try to relax my brain a little bit because it's always going.
Yeah,
So
that
it's
is
okay. I just need a
understandable.
rest.
You have to take time off.
I do.
Yeah,
He doesn't, though.
I know he does. He's gonna sit here and say, "Oh, I
He's a
know."
machine.
Gonna go back to work.
No, I can't. I
Good.
can't
He's
do it.
a machine.
So,
He's a
but
machine.
it's exciting. It's just tiring.
So apparently you have the best hair in Fragcom. I think I heard you say that in a live stream recently. I think that's where he got that from, George.
Who did?
I think that's where Captain and Coke got that from, because I think I heard you say that in a live stream recently. Something about your hair.
Brian said that.
No,
Well,
you.
Well, I said in the last live stream we did on Instagram, I was like the best hair.
Yeah.
in practice.
That's what it was. It was in your live on IG from, was it Wednesday or Thursday?
It was last. We did it last Saturday. It was a week ago.
Something like that. Every
Yeah.
day is the same to me.
Hey, trust me. I don't know. Sure, maybe Saturday could.
Yeah.
Maybe it was.
Yeah, it was like an hour ago. I don't know.
I was gonna say it was like an hour ago.
I'm at the age now, around my age, is when the next phase of a human goes to, and things start changing and moving around, and it's all dependent on the life that you had in the past.
Mhm.
And you see some people, they age quicker than most, or quicker than some, and some age less. And I'm you have no control over it. And it's like, my ear's gonna get bigger. Is my nose? What's gonna happen? Oh my God! So I just have to be at peace with. I have no choice. I just have to be at peace with aging and just try to take care of myself. But
That's the
Yes.
fun part about aging.
I'm
I
sorry.
just saw your text, George. Sorry, I have my phone on silent
good.
until it went live.
The fun part about aging is trying to make sure that you don't age.
That I don't what?
That you
That
don't age.
age.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think that but it's a losing battle.
Mhm.
I think that I could be saying that with certainty, right? And so
Right.
I think that, like you just said, though, I try to take care of myself. Ross knows all. I talk to Ross. Ross takes care of himself, the skin, the teeth, the hair, all of that stuff that I try to work out, do cardio, stick a vacuum in me sometimes and get shit sucked out, that kind of stuff.
At least you can admit it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
no. So anyway, get, spa, all that stuff.
It all matters.
Yeah.
It
It all
all
matters,
matters.
actually. It all matters.
Because if you don't take care of yourself, that stuff piles on and adds up. My doctor, my regular physician, actually, he's surprised at how on top of my blood pressure and stuff like that I am. Like, I made a post on my IG stories and Facebook yesterday about am I the only one that checks their blood pressure every time they go to Walmart? Because I literally do it every time I see it, and I go sit there and check my blood pressure. But he made a good point. He said, statistically, we do the most damage to ourselves in our 20s and 30s, and we pay for that shit later. So most people don't realize it because you're all 10 foot tall and bulletproof when you're young, but you're doing more damage. Even though you bounce back faster, the damage is still already done. So the more you can take care of yourself, not just emotionally, but literally physically take care of yourself better, the more likely you're going to have a better quality of life as you age. Because I know some of you probably hear this random, real loud crack snap in my videos. That's my left ankle when I turn certain ways. And it's getting worse as I'm getting older. And I just know when I'm in my 60s, that's going to be a debilitating pain when it pops like that. But I've noticed when I play back my videos, I'll hear that random that's my left ankle. Just randomly grabbing another fragrance. You hear it loud in the videos.
My back's fucked. My back just straight up, man, from wrestling and soccer and then being in furniture and lifting shit upstairs that isn't supposed to go upstairs, but you got to get it up there anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, screwed up.
You know what? I have to tell you, Brian, and I know that there's many guys around our age. I'm sorry, around my age and your age, with the back. And I was on a flight. I was at the carousel at O'Hare Airport, and this older man goes, "Do you mind if you help with my luggage?" He didn't tell me he had 6 gallons of olive oil in the suitcase. And this was about 10 years ago.
Wait, sorry, what?
He did. It was an older man. We had just come from Frankfurt. It's like it was yesterday, and I went to lift it, and I heard my back. Literally, I heard the snap, and the next day, my foot was numb, my left foot, and then the following day, my whole leg was numb, and I was walking like hobbling. And the doctor said you need to have surgery in 3 months, otherwise you're going to lose the nerves on your legs. Anyway, I ended up having it. What I'm here to say is, we don't realize how important our back is.
Oh yeah,
and how you have to be very careful what you lift. I stop if someone says, because I'm tall, I travel a lot, and I could tell you probably out of 5 flights, one of them, "Son, do you mind if you help me with my bag?" And I'll say, "Is there anything heavy in there? Otherwise I can't. I'm sorry." And I'll get someone to help, but I'm very careful now lifting stuff. I just won't do it.
My favorite is to see young guys who bend over the wrong way and lift things the wrong way. I'm like, you don't want to do that, dude. Just trust me.
Right.
Just trust me. And then you show them how to do it, and they just go right back to doing it. I was like, all right, man. Well, your funeral.
Ladies and gentlemen, there's a Steve Smith sighting.
Hi, Steve. Long time no see. How are you?
Hey, how you doing, George? Can y'all hear me?
What's going on, man?
Ross,
Yeah, we can hear you.
All
We
right.
can hear you. So how's everything, my man? I'm glad you could jump on and join for a little while.
Just staying busy, staying consistent.
That's what I'm talking about. Sorry to interrupt, guys. I had him just sitting there for a few minutes, and I was like, let me find the right spot to click.
No, it's good. It's good. It's good to see Steve. Steve has been. Steve took a picture of Isopure, and that's what I take. It's a clean protein.
Very clean whey isolate. Mixes with a spoon.
Yeah, or they have the drinks at the gym sometimes, and
those are delicious. Those have been around for years. I like the grape.
That's me. I like the grape too.
I like the grape.
But they have, they also have an amino acid. I don't know. Do you know what I'm talking about? It's a powder, but it's amino acid instead.
The BCAAs.
That's it. That's what I
branched chain aminos.
So knowledgeable, Ross.
I love BCAAs, man.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you're working now or if you're
The jack of
lifting.
all trades, master of none. What can I say?
Now, many people don't know that Steven has Kingdom Fragrances, right?
Yes,
Correct.
sir. Yep.
Yeah, man. I'm Brian, by the way. What's up, Steve?
Sorry.
Hey,
Oh, I
how you
didn't know y'all two didn't know each other. My apologies for not introducing
No.
Brian, Steve, Brian. My 2
I've been
cents.
off
Kingdom Fragrances.
YouTube for like the last 6 months.
You what?
I've been off YouTube for the last 6 months just with a new baby, and then the business was jumping up quite a bit. So,
Well, I appreciate the business because I've given you business. I appreciate you. Some
Well,
of
I
the best
appreciate
prices on the web right here. Just to let you guys know.
That's exactly right. I'm
Well,
actually adding links to all of your channels right now to the description before I forget.
Shamelessly plugging a man I just met.
Hey, man,
Well,
you gotta do what you gotta do.
Hey, he's got great
Steven has Fanatic
Fragrance Fanatic.
Fragrance Fanatic.
Yeah.
Channel, and that's how we met 3 years ago. And in that time, he has started his business and he has his own work. Correct? You have a job that you go to. You still are
Correct.
doing that?
I'm still in law enforcement. Yes.
And so he's a hard worker. I'm proud of him. Proud to know him.
As am I. Very, very good friend. Very, very good guy.
Thank y'all. Seriously.
And hopefully you find some time to do some content soon. That'd be cool. I know you're a busy guy.
I have 1 week, and then I have a whole week off. So that plan to do quite a few reviews, hopefully during that week.
Hell yeah.
That's the goal.
I find what Steve does very interesting because it's one side of the business of fragrance that isn't talked about as much. And maybe one day we could talk about it. Not his business, but just the discounting.
Yeah, the wholesale market.
The gray market is what it would be called. And so, and Steve, it's okay it's not a negative. It's just
right.
It's just it is. But the gray market, I don't want to talk. I don't know Steve. I don't know. Hold on. I do know Steve. He's a stand-up guy. And so I'm not talking about Steve. I'm just saying in general, the gray market's very interesting. And, and how goods move all over the world to get to that discounted fragrance that you go online to see. It's just it's the whole thing is very interesting.
It's very competitive.
It's very competitive because it's global.
Right. And
you're dealing with, lots of fragrances or somebody, and sometimes it's from the actual fragrance house themselves. Like there'll be a region in Southeast Asia. I don't know, let's say Estee Lauder, Tom Ford is down, I don't know, $100,000, $1 million, whatever it is. And they'll dump their own, that person on the Southeast Asian market will dump that product into the gray market to make its numbers up. And so it's just, and then all of a sudden it moves all over the world, and it's, then it goes to brokers, and then it ends up with Steve. It's all legitimate. It's not, but it's just the whole gray market's very interesting. I find it very fascinating.
Ross is taking
a quick picture. Well, I was going to do a screen grab real quick on there, but I was like, just do it quick on my phone.
Dude, next time you got to be like, hey, man, let us take a selfie. You got to let us know.
Yeah, exactly. Well, no, y'all conversing, doing your thing. I mean, the wise wizard himself was speaking, so I thought, now's a good time because George definitely has everyone's attention.
You're our Gandalf.
I don't want to grab I don't want to dominate the conversation. I let you guys finish your conversations, and I'll be watching on the other side.
George, you got to remember, everybody loves when you come on, no matter whose channel, what platform. Everybody loves when you come on.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I just don't want to dominate. That's the anyway. I don't want to talk about.
You're not dominating.
Okay. So let's talk about something else then.
So Steve, upcoming things to the website. Let's do that. Let's touch on what's going on, because you and I talked last night on the phone about it. I know what's going on. As far as new inventories coming in, different things you have going, some stuff that is really popular that's about to restock that a lot of people in the audience may be excited to hear, so they can hurry up and scoop it up. Hit us with it.
I'm trying to pretty much. Can y'all hear me, or is there feedback?
No, we can hear you.
Oh,
Okay.
we can hear.
I'm
That's good.
trying to find the best method to differentiate my website from other discount, retailers, whatever you want to call them. So I'm always looking to add new inventory to the website, and I have some. I can't really speak on the brand because I haven't gotten the. Me and Ross talked. I
Mhm.
have not gotten the okay from certain niche brands. I will be selling some of their old products that they have, maybe like the old bottles that they're no longer selling,
Mhm.
but it is a niche brand. I just haven't gotten the okay to really speak on it too much from the owner. But also, I am restocking quite a bit. Dylan Blue, I'll be getting a ton of restock coming here probably tomorrow, as well as I'm looking to add some additional niche, like I was talking about, but not. This is the one I'm going to be selling specifically on the website is not a crazy popular brand. They all have been getting some popularity, but they're not one of your mainstream niche companies, if that makes sense. But pretty much the goal for 2022 is just to continue to add new items to the website. If you guys see something that sells, I'm trying to keep that in stock continuously. I spend a lot of money for a startup business. I spend a lot. I mean, just on here, I can be real with you. Anywhere from 5 to 10,000 a week is the average of what I spend. So, but that goes into purchasing inventory, trying to maintain enough inventory. As George can probably attest to, sometimes your inventory it sells extremely fast, and you're not necessarily expecting that. There has been times where I've done a complete restock and it sells out the same day, and I'm like, well, that kind of it's a good thing.
It's a good problem.
However, now my inventory's gone, so I'm like, it's always playing, catch up and always trying to. It's like playing chess. I'm always trying to think a few moves ahead to where I can stay ahead of the game, and then try to see what people who routinely purchase from me what they're actually looking for. It's hard to get brand new items. I've had tons of emails. Can you get this? Can you get that? If it's a brand new release, George knows. He's in the with fragrance companies. He knows how stuff operates. You can't. A discounter it's gonna be very difficult to get something that's brand new and immediately listed on a discount site. It's not going to happen. So that's kind of the hard part is just trying to please everybody to an extent. Have something that everybody can purchase. Something for everybody essentially, and then still trying to keep the prices low. I have not raised prices. If anything, I've lowered quite a few prices on items. If I've gotten it less wholesale, which I have in some cases, $1 or $2 less, then I adjust the price accordingly.
Well, that's some good insight. I appreciate that.
Steve, if you buy something at retail and you sell it on your website, so let's say for example you buy a couple bottles of Aventus at full price and then you create it as a loss leader on your site, even though you're not an authorized, I shouldn't be saying this, but I think that it's actually legal for you to do that, right? If you're buying it at full price and you're reselling it as a loss leader, there's nothing anyone can do about that, correct?
That was my understanding, correct? Yes.
Yeah.
It would be as if you're buying it as a consumer.
Right.
If you're buying it whole, or if you're buying it retail. Now wholesale, obviously I go through approved distributors for my inventory, which you don't fall into the problem of, hey, you can't stock this because I'm buying it from an authorized wholesaler.
Right. Because you could go to Neiman Marcus and buy a fragrance and then put it on your website for $20 less.
For sure.
And there's nothing you can do about it.
Right. Correct.
Yeah. People will say, not a lot, I shouldn't say that, but there's some websites that'll be selling like the women's Zaharoff. And then when you go, they'll be like, George, do you know that your women's is, in the discounters? I go, well, try to buy it. And when they do, it shows out of stock. And so I've seen that. There's different ways. Anyway, so the one thing though with Steve is the one thing that I've learned is I try to optional service. I try to any interaction that someone has with Zaharoff, I try to give that elevated, experience. And it's hard for others to copy that. And I think with Steve, with you, it's the same thing. You know, your biggest marketing tool is you.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that people will buy from you because they love you foremost, and then they want to support you and the service that you give them. Companies that will fight over like a couple dollars of shipping, or if someone doesn't like something, and I'm like, dude, and then they go forward into the space and they start, you know what I mean? They move forward and they're aggravated at the company. And for me, it's not worth it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You're cutting out just a little bit there, George.
Who, little me?
Below you.
All right.
Just wanted to let you know it was getting a little choppy there. So signal probably just faded in, faded out. So Brian, what you think about all this, man?
What, the gray market?
Yeah.
Everything that's going. I mean, honestly, for me, I do the way I split things up. I do 70% of my business that the colognes, the fragrances, whatever I buy throughout the year, I buy at full retail. And then 30% I do for discount. And the reason I do that is because I really want to give back to a lot of brands. Because, you know, I think a lot of people don't understand how the gray market works. And the booze industry actually has kind of the same kind of market, but and Georgia will learn more about that as well. But you know, with this is like a lot of people bitch about fragrances getting discontinued.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because a lot of the times I think we sit on our hands and we wait for them to go to discounts. We don't go buy it full retail, and it shows because you know, they're not selling off of the shelves, and I think we're going to see it a lot more in the future because a lot of people can't go, unfortunately, and a lot of department stores are going to lose their business because of what's happening with this whole pandemic and everything. People aren't going out; they're doing everything online, and it's a lot harder to smell things when you're sitting on your ass at home buying everything off Amazon.
Yeah.
Well, not only that, but there's people that would say, I can't buy online 2 years ago. I can't buy pants. I can't buy a fragrance. I can't buy a shirt. And we had 2 years of people being forced to do it. 2 years. And usually a habit is what? 20 days, they say, or a couple times, 3 times. And then you're like, oh, this is easy. I don't need to go to the store. I'll order it.
Yeah.
And that's also something we have trained people now because of the pandemic. We could buy it, order it. We don't like it. We send it back. Right.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah. I mean, I like I said, I have nothing against it. I buy plenty of fragrances. I buy plenty of fragrances from tons of discounters. Hell, probably every single discounter there is known to man. But actually, probably not. I don't know if I've hit every single discounter. But you know, I think
I bought from a lot of them.
Yeah. You're all in the description down below. But you know, for me though, I like to get back to the brands. Like I go to either straight from the brand, or you know, I'll go to Lucky Scent. I utilize them a lot. Crystal Fragrance, and I love the customer service at everywhere. The customer service that I get from like Lucky, well, not really. Anyways, Lucky Scent, yes, absolutely. Lucky Scent, Crystal Fragrance, and with Kingdom, it's like, you know, the little notes and everything that they send, and like, you know, I don't know, that means something. And then there's certain discounters.
It matters. I've never received a package from Steve that didn't have a little written note because I'm sure because I always text him after to let him know I bought something. Steve never knows when I make an order. I just randomly, hey man, I just bought 4 or 5, whatever the hell. He's like, oh man, you didn't have to do that, man. And next thing you know, I got a nice little handwritten note. It's little touches like that. And I know I can speak for you on this. He does that in most of his orders, if not all. Yeah. That goes a long way. Just like with George. George signs all these cards. There's always your name's on it. It's personal to you. Yeah. Little things like that go a long way that bigger brands, once they got big, they lost sight of doing the little things. And that's what, because the space has grown so much, that's what makes it so special when people do go that extra mile to do those things. Yeah.
Word of mouth advertising is the best way to go. It's free advertising. And little things like that, like getting great service at a restaurant. You're going to tell your friends if you had a good experience, and that one person that just spreads a whole tree of, you know, to people hearing about it. It's a telephone, you know, and those are the awesome things, you know. I really enjoy.
So,
I totally agree.
Touching on purchasing, which there's nothing wrong with it, purchasing from the retailer. I would kind of give you my side of kind of how I feel. There's nothing wrong with doing that, but I can tell you I know what I buy stuff for. And
Right.
I just feel that some of the brands, for what they are charging, and I'm not trying to be mean to any specific brand, it's just not worth that price, in my opinion. So I make enough with the low margins that I set my prices at, and I just feel that giving somebody an honest price for a fragrance that they really want is the way to go. That's why I don't do the whole fragrance net 35% off to try to swindle somebody and make them think, that they're getting a better deal. And I do offer a small $1 off coupon.
Yeah.
A lot of people use it.
But that's the thing. You could mark it up $30 and give a 30%
Correct.
off coupon code if you really
Right.
wanted to, and play the game all the rest of them do.
The only thing that I'm sorry, Steve, the only thing is that if you were to scale up, right, and you had an employee, an 800 number,
Correct,
a customer service, a warehouse, all of a sudden that changes. Right now you're keeping
Correct.
everything very tight and you're able to offer the margins that you have, right?
right.
Yeah.
You mean like how
The
Fragrance
overhead's
X has a humongous warehouse where they're paying $12,000 a month in a lease. I respect that, but
you're able to be quick and nimble, and that's
Correct.
that's your competitive edge.
And I guess even if this fragrance scaled to say like $1 million a year, I still would like to keep my circle small, if that makes sense. I don't want a lot of hands in the pot because a lot of different perspectives may change my direction, and I don't think I really want that. It was the business that I created with advice from a lot of people, including George and Ross and some other handful of people that I'm very close to in the community. Me and George talked a bunch prior to starting it, and just kind of the direction on how I could kind of set myself aside. George is a firm believer to always stay true to who you are, and like I said, I kind of want to operate the business like that. But let me say, I don't mean the humongous brands that have millions and millions of overhead. I mean your small, tiny, independent brand that is selling a 30 ml bottle for $100 when I can buy it wholesale for $22. And I don't, in my opinion, I don't know if that's still, I can buy it for $22. Why is it being sold for $100 when I think a fair price would be maybe $70, $69.98.
Which says they're still making a profit selling it to you for that. Otherwise,
absolutely, or they wouldn't wholesale it. And that's directly from the company. That's not from a distributor.
So let me tell you what's happening to me. It's very interesting. I can't sell to Europe, and I can't sell to certain markets because it's made in the United States. I have all my IFRA, all my documents, everything. I could sell to any country in the world. I have all the documents to do that. I say that because there's a lot of fragrances that cannot do that because they don't know where their oils come from. That's beside the point. If I have now had to set up a small operation in France, my bottles, which are made in Italy, would come to the United States, and it would come tax-free because there's no VAT for countries outside of Europe. Now I'm moving all of these components that are all made in Europe, the pump, the box, the cap, all of that. It goes now to France, and it's an added 25% of all my costs now. So you have the bottle that's at, that I sell for $145. I can't charge that anymore because of that percentage. There's additional. So for me to sell to perfumeries in Italy or France or Germany, I have to sell to a distributor in each country. So there's a distributor, and then there's the retailer, the little boutiques in all these countries. So for me to sell to Europe, the European market, to the mom and pop perfumeries, I have to now something that if something sold for $100, I have to now sell to the distributors in every country for 75% off of my retail price, because the distributor takes it, he distributes it to the mom and pops, and they need their markup.
Right.
also included in that is the marketing. And so you kind of have a sense of an idea of the cost structure now, where it's no longer direct to consumer. It's you're breaking it down, and that's part of just growing. If you know, and so and it's a little bit of a challenge to do that. It's a little bit of a frustration as well. And you need those because the distributor keeps an eye on all of the perfumeries in that country, as opposed to selling directly where I can't. Right now I'm dealing with, I have Fragmental in the UK. I have some in South America. I have Australia, and I'm stretched. Like,
plus Chile.
The stretch man, how you would just stretch the person. And the retailer's like, George, we want to do this event. Oh, I'll come. And I go down to Australia. And then it's like the guy in Chile, can you do this for us? Or can you go to Greece? Can you go to India? Can we do it? So you need someone. I know, poor George. I'm just saying, though, that as a brand, you have to be on top of these things. And that's why you need these distributors in every country to keep tabs on your products. And then what happens is that then you hit like a critical mass, and then you're able to go and do gray market goods, like, and get to Steven to where he's able to, he's able to offer the prices he does. Steve is good. Steven, I call you Steven, so I don't want people like, what the hell is he saying? Because I love Steve. I call him like Steven because it's like my heart saying it. So what's good for Steven is people like him flushes out products. So, and the retailers have done this. So the retailers are saying, we need to have people coming into the stores all the time. We need to call and say, hey, the new Burberry vaginal secretions is in, or, Versace pussy brushes came in. It's brand new. And so, then it's, pussy brushes, oud. Oh, that just came in. Please, can you come to the store? And so what happens is that, huh?
I said, if Versace, if you're watching, this man knows what he's talking about.
New product.
Donatella would say,
Brilliant.
What's wrong with the pussy brushes?
There's a pussy brush.
It's okay. It's good. Half the population has a pussy. So anyway, so what happens is that I ship $100 to the retailers, a collection. A season passes and there's $60 unsold. I now have, mind you, with the $100, I have now spent the marketing money for the sell-in. It's sell-in, you sell it into the stores, and you sell it through the customers. Sell in, sell through. Mm-hmm. So you sell it into the retailer. It doesn't sell through. There's $60 left of product. Well, I just came out with, Oud Sunshine, and they return the 60, and I now ship 100. Mind you, wait. That 60 now I got to get rid of, and it goes to Steve. Steve is right here on my computer, on my thing.
Yeah, that's where he's at for me too. I
have now sold in 100, negative 60. The retailer owes me $40, right? $50 of that doesn't sell, and now I'm shipping at a negative to the retailers, and the retailers will call me up and say, George, you have a balance of $335,000, and even though we pay $120, it takes us 4 or 5 months to pay you. Can you cut a check for us, please, and just send it out? Thank you so much. Okay, George, thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye.
But that's how it is. And so a lot of brands are like, I don't need to sell to you anymore. But Steve serves a purpose in this space because it flushes out a lot of excess product, and it gets people into products that they would not be able to buy at full price. So Steve serves a good purpose. What does this say? I can't. I
don't think Zaharoff will ever have that problem.
Of what? Pussy brushes?
Which you just explained with the retailers. So that's the space he used to be in. That's why he has this information and experience.
It's terrible. Mm-hmm. It's terrible.
Now it's all sold directly through him, through his own sales of his website.
Which is smart.
With the exception of these out-of-country, smaller distributing perfumeries that he has. So I'm just enlightening ScentQuest. That's where it comes from. He's gone through this before. That's how he's able to shed the light on it.
And it happened with the clothing. It happened with it happens, and it's kind of a strong arm because they'll say, George, your shirts, we need to return this batch. It didn't sell. And the Brooks Brothers would say, oh, no, we don't do returns. And then all of a sudden next season comes and there's no order. So you have to, it's just part of the game. And let me ask you, Stephen, did you see a lot of products? Because when it comes to the retail stores, every week is accounted for like a year in advance. You know, when you get samples at Nordstrom with your order, that's allocated to the companies over a period of 52 weeks. The company pays for that, by the way. So I'll be like, okay, you know what? I'm launching Noir and I want my samples to be in the boxes. And they'll be like, okay, it's going to cost you $100,000 plus the samples. So it's like a profit. It's like a profit center for them. But when the pandemic happened, you had all of these planned, which takes years in advance for the big companies, right, to create a fragrance and to launch it and all that. You have all these different hierarchies and approvals. So you're looking at almost 5 years into the future of all the launches. And so when the pandemic happened, additionally, the week of the launch, or they set aside 2 weeks of the launch, every end cap, meaning when you go into a retailer and you see like a display case with the perfume, or if you see the bottles on the side of it's called an end case at the end of like where the shirts are or whatever, everything is planned ahead of time in the store, the real estate of where your product is going to be, and it's either part of the launch or the house pays for it. The house pays for all of that, the signage. Nothing is free, and so you have the pandemic happen, and you have 2 years of launches that were planned that now gets taken out of the mix, and you have your future launches coming, and you can't squeeze in or fit in any of these launches unless you put it to the front of the line or you push off all your other launches. I know, guys, it's a lot. I'm sorry.
No. I'm just letting RXL know. I see the comment, and I'll gladly say I can't stand that fragrance. I don't know about worst of all time, but I can't stand it.
I don't think it's gray flannel.
Gray flannel.
So, Steve, did you see a lot of with the clothes? A lot of the TJ Maxx's and Marshalls, they were bursting. They couldn't take any more excess product. And I was wondering, did you see a lot of unreleased fragrances available for you to take and buy?
Honestly, because some of the wholesalers that I buy from, distributors, they buy direct from Europe, and a lot of the perfumery shut down, so they stopped production. So it was harder for me on certain items. Some there was an excess of items because the stores were closed, so they couldn't have the inventory. So there was extra inventory for me to purchase from those distributors. However, there was some items that people kept asking me for one, YSL Eau de Parfum. When the pandemic hit, I was extremely limited on that fragrance. And
I remember
it kind of sucked
I was trying to get a bottle from you. You had it sold out, and then you couldn't get it.
And the bad part about it was because everything shut down, you couldn't buy in a store. So what happens when you can't go in a store? The online sales raise. So I was having this humongous demand for fragrances, and I just could not match it. And when stuff started to come back, once everything opened up, COVID, some of the closures started reopening, I actually had to raise some prices on some things because my price was more. And it was kind of like, I compare it to the stock market. Fragrances, when you're buying a whole bunch of different SKUs, it changes sometimes, and they fluctuate depending on the economy. At least I've noticed that over the past almost 2 years now.
The supply and demand of things. And for me, like
Correct.
My patchouli, because Indonesia shut down, there's someone from Mom that goes to the villages in Aceh province in the north to collect oils, and that wasn't happening. And so all of a sudden, they have a year's backup of oils in stock. Mon did, and I would be able to order it, and within a week or 2 weeks, it would show up. And now it's 6 weeks, it's 3 months. It's even my pumps. They're made in France. I ordered 50,000 pumps last February. They were supposed to be shipped in September of last year, and it got pushed to end of April this year. So if that's me, I can't imagine, like, you could lose your mind waiting on these components and oils, and the whole thing has been constipated, Stephen. The whole system is anyway.
So real quick, easy, my man. I appreciate the super chat. Thank you so much. And George, we have an interesting question from Tim. He's curious if there's going to be a travel atomizer for citrine. I would assume at some point.
They're being printed now.
Yeah. So, and for those of you that didn't know, citrine is pre-sale at a special price of $119 right now, which is less than you can get it for at its normal price with the 10% off that you would normally get through my link. So you want to grab it while it's cheap. It's only going to be for a couple of weeks at best. Is that right, George?
Yeah, thank you, Ross. I appreciate that.
Linktree right here in the top of the chat. Click and go grab your bottle. Otherwise, you'll be waiting like everybody else that didn't get Royale X in January.
Thank you, guys.
I'm excited.
Got another question here for you, George. What happens to return fragrances? Because I see RXL said nobody returns a fragrance. Believe it or not, there is that random unicorn from time to time that will return a fragrance.
So with the retailers, when you have someone like Nordstrom that returns anything, it goes directly. Anything that you return at a department store like Nordstrom, Neiman's, it comes right to the vendor. It's called RTV. It gets returned right to the vendor. That's why they take anything back. And then you get, like, listen, I'm sorry, but if you take a screwdriver to your fragrance and you pop it open and you dump out the fragrance and fill it with colored water and then return it when it comes back to me, that's trash. I'm sorry. That's what I think. And so you get a lot of that too. But RTV, everything that you return goes back to the vendor. Now, when it comes to something like Steven probably eats the product up, right?
I don't accept returns unless they're for sure unused. Like if the cellophane's even broken, if it has cellophane, since all, some niche do not, then I'll accept it if it's not used. But if it's been used at all, or the cellophane's broken, a seal's broken, I can't accept that. And like what you're saying, because there's so many fakes on the market, for me to spend time and investigate every single bottle and look at it from head to toe, I don't have time to be doing that and calling experts and trying to see if I got duped and sent a fake bottle in exchange, because that's happened, or they tried to before. But I do accept returns 100%. If somebody doesn't open it, they buy it and have buyer's remorse, haven't popped the bottle yet, they haven't opened the cellophane, you can send it back full, no questions asked, just ship it back on your dollar, of course. And then I'll refund them immediately as soon as it's received.
Let me ask you this. What happens if, now I'm curious, what happens, because it would eat into your margins. What happens if I go, hey, Steve, my bottle, the sprayer, the atomizer doesn't work? What do you do about that?
I would have somebody either send it back and then I'll look at it. And if it's in fact broken, then obviously I'll eat the cost of that and just claim it on the tail end of taxes as a loss.
So you eat it no matter what. You can't.
I would, because it's just honest for me. I would want to operate honestly. If it's a manufacturer defect, even though it was from the manufacturer, nobody knew because the box was sealed. We don't know if it is what it is.
Do you know what else is interesting, Stephen? Is that because I handle it on this side, we have serial returners, or we have people that say that the thing doesn't work. Can you send me a replacement? We talk. I'm not going to say which companies, but the owners all talk, and there's there's not a lot. I shouldn't say that. There are some individuals that will complain, return, that kind of thing, and hoping for a replacement without returning the one that they have. That happens a lot. Or they get a credit and then it ends up on eBay. And I'm telling you, the universe speaks. I can't explain it to you. I don't know if they think that Zaharoff is really big and that I'll never, that you don't find out, but it'll be like, oh, George, I have your fragrance and this and this and this. And then I'll go into the system and I go, I have it. I can't find your name in the system. Or they'll say, George, can I have a sample of rosé? I have the signature and I love it. So I go into the system so I could send a rosé sample and I can't find them. And I go, hey, by the way, Steve, you want your rosé? I can't find your address. and they're like, "Oh, I bought it from Mr. Piggy," and I'm like, I gave him a credit because he said it didn't. And then I'll be like, "Hey, Mr. Piggy, by the way, I just want you to know that this, and this." Because I'll say it. I go, "I'm happy that your
And they get
product
mad.
started, that so-and-so." And he'll be like, "Oh, it started working. I was too busy to respond and tell you." And so it's that kind of shit. So I bless them. I go, "I'm not going to let Mr. Piggy." You learn, though, and you talk amongst people,
So I was looking at the comment from ScentQuest. Said I returned open bottles to Fragrance Net and Fragrance X, or no, Fragrance Buy, and they both accepted them. So the difference between obviously my brand and them is I don't have millions of dollars to accept a loss like that. Imagine if 1 in 4 people returned a bottle they opened and said, I smelled it, I don't like it. I mean, I can't resell that. I mean, honestly, I would never sell it on my website. So I'm stuck having to go on a fragrance marketplace and Facebook or something like that. I don't have time to deal with that. And then also, again, I don't really want to deal with a possible counterfeit fragrance. And then also I already deal with other stuff like chargebacks. I got hit with a bunch of chargebacks this past year because I did a whole bunch more sales than the year prior. I had people that have forwarding addresses in New York that somehow get the fragrance to Canada because I don't ship international. And the Canadian bank sided with the buyer, even though he got the fragrance. So I was out twice. I was out for the fragrance and I was out for the money. And I get hit with the chargeback charge, and he tried to hit me 4 times. So
let's explain this so people can understand it, right? Steven's margins are very, very small, meaning
Very
that
tight.
if he sells $100, it's probably he makes a couple dollars off of that. Very small and very tight. When you start returning product, that starts eating away at a small business being able to pay its bills. Forget about profiting from it. Now, I would say with the department stores, returns were consistent for years at around 10%. Now, I think returns for me, it's at 1%. It's very small, but there are some people that will buy a fake fragrance, a fake Chanel, let's say, not Chanel, because Chanel's very tough with that. Let's say Dior or whatever. And then it's fake. And then I order from Steve the real deal, and I switch it out and I go, you know what? This is fake. People do that.
Oh, yeah.
And Steve has no recourse. And so he has to say, I can't take returns just because of that. Write that in there. It's very difficult. You're in a
Shout out
difficult
to Michael
position.
Dinsmore. Mike loves George, and Ross loves Mike. Just saying. You're right, Mike. I do love you, Mike.
What's up, Fragrance Journey?
Appreciate the $4.99. We got Rob in the house, Paige in the house.
What's up, Paige?
A bunch of people jumping in and out. I appreciate that, fellas. So here's an interesting one. Kind of, y'all touched on this a little bit because I know this changed the way you operate when everything happened with the pandemic in the beginning. George, if you want to, I don't know if you want to touch on this a little bit more.
Can you read that?
Oh, wrong one. I pinned the wrong one. My apologies. It was how did the pandemic affect? Here it is. How did the pandemic affect perfume sales? I only discovered this world during the pandemic.
So when it came for Nordstrom, Nordstrom has been a partner of mine for 30 years. I have been selling to Nordstrom since I was 20 years old, and they've been a very good partner. About 5-6 years ago, there was a shift. Nordstrom was very hands-on. The buyers were in every region. They would take small brands like myself, special. I was called a fringe brand, meaning very special small companies. And I was doing tailored clothing under license with Brooks Brothers. So I had a sizable business at Nordstrom. And I think around, I would probably say 6-7 years ago, they started dismantling the regional buying offices and moved them to Seattle. And it was the Chicago buying office that ended up becoming the main buying office in Seattle, which was a huge thing for me because I was very good friends with, I was knowledgeable with everybody. And then they got rid of it. And when the pandemic happened, there's now 3 buyers for the different regions and then 1 on top of them. And so imagine trying to call, and it's the men's fragrances and skincare. treatment, and so it's very difficult. So that let's set that aside. Having to ask for an order for running out was a big hassle. And I respect and love Nordstrom, and I'm very grateful for everything. But when the pandemic happened, we ran out. First of all, they went, and I don't know if you guys remember when the pandemic happened, they reduced everything. They did a 25% off of fragrances and things that it was unheard of. It was unheard of to put fragrances in all my 30 years. That has never happened. So everything went 25% off. I think Saks did it, then Neiman's, Bergdorf's, and then Nordstrom did. I ran out of product in 1 week. And for the first time, I opened up the Zaharoff store. I had never bought, I had never been set up for a retail tax number. I have never taken sales directly, and I did. And I think the nail in the coffin was when Nordstrom sent a letter saying that they were going to go net 120 from net 30, and they're now from 60%. They're adding an additional 10% COVID handling fee, which hasn't gone away. So in other words, if I sell something for $100, I would get 30 wholesale. So you get an idea. If I sell $100 of wholesale, and so you can't do it. You can't stay in business with that. And I haven't looked back. And that's why I don't open up. But there's only one perfumery in Los Angeles called Door Prestige, and I don't want to open up any retail in the United States.
So
And
I have a question for you.
Strictly a business move. Yes.
Because I visited in December, a couple of months before that lockdown happened, and you got away from Nordstrom. I helped you pack an order while we were at the office for Nordstrom. Was that the last order?
No, it was December. The last order was,
because I know it was a pretty big order we packed.
Yeah, we sold a lot of product on Nordstrom.com, a lot. And
because it was a lot of boxes we packed that day.
And then there was it was one every month that would go out like that. We did very good business with Nordstrom.
There was probably 3 more that went out after.
And it would be incredible. It would be like, oh my God. And I'd call the buyer, I'm like, I can't believe it. And it was just like business. Okay, we'll put an order. It was no excitement, and here I'm crying, oh my God, we sold it. Oh my God, I'm so excited. And it was straight face. It was business. There was no emotion to it. Mm-hmm. I get it though, because they're pressured to just do the numbers, so yeah.
Yeah, no worries, Red Mint. He said he appreciates the response. Sorry, I can't get to every single comment, guys. It's not like it is when it's just me and you guys in the chat. I don't want to just cut somebody off in the middle of the conversation and say, well, so and so's asking this. You know what I mean? Because it's very interesting conversation that's being had here.
You're talking to a group of people. Steven is very well plugged into this business. You have Brian, who worked for a distributor, and Brian, my family's business has been in groceries. And so I understand. Yeah, my father was part of 300 grocery stores in the Midwest, and so I get the margins.
Sales market. You have sales and distribution and spirits right next to me. You have business owner. You have wholesale gray market right below us. There's a lot to discuss. Actually, that's why that was the point I was making. Was I don't really want to interrupt the middle of something being said, because this is a great conversation. I hope you guys are enjoying it that are watching. I'm definitely enjoying the conversation.
George, I will say, dude, like everything you're talking about, especially getting into with fragrances, into retail, the department stores, man, getting into the spirits business, exact same thing, man. Product placement. I mean, you're doing the exact same thing, but now with booze. But at some point, but that's you're actually very smart in what you're doing, because it's really intelligent, because a lot of people get into the spirits industry and don't know what the hell they're doing. They're like, oh, I can make these, this awesome whatever. Like, oh, I made whiskey in my garage, and oh man, it's awesome. And then they go try to put it out on the market. I'm like, you're gonna fail miserably, because you don't know what the hell you're doing.
So there were 3 boys. They were boys back then that started a vodka in Chicago called Effin' Vodka.
Oh, I know. I know.
And they sold it for a fortune. And one of the three friends that did it has been a mentor for me when it came for the spirits. And so, but I've said this to you, Brian, the spirits and fragrance is almost identical down to the macerating and the creating of it. It's almost identical. It's fascinating.
Well, I used to get drunk with a beverage. I know that man very well for the vodka business. I don't think I could actually call him anymore because, well, I mean, he's worth like $50 billion or something along those lines.
Bacardi, who is it?
Tito.
Yeah,
Tito Beverage. His last name is Beverage.
Tito?
Yeah, his last name is Beverage. It's Tito Beverage.
I didn't know that. That's interesting.
Yeah. I mean, when I used to get drunk with him, he had been bankrupt 10 times. And now look at him now. Look at him now.
Amazing. And Tito's vodka is brilliant marketing because people think that he's in Texas making this vodka. He's in there.
Dude, I've been to the
barrels.
distillery. If you go to the distillery, you're gonna look around and be like, there is no way that this place is pumping out that much vodka at all. I mean, there's no way. I mean, that's the number one selling spirit in the United States. Probably take over the world.
It's amazing.
And it's privately owned, not owned by anybody. So
crazy.
Yeah, well, I mean, no, and that's where you're going to be, George. That's what you got to do.
We'll see let's see what the gods of fate have in store because, there's outside factors that have to come into play to make a brand successful, and you could be the best businessman in the whole world, and something outside of it, like even with me with 9/11, it completely destroyed me, and I played things very close to the edge. And most entrepreneurs do that. They'll leverage things and play it right to the edge. And that's what I did in 2001. I don't do that anymore. I was having that discussion with Ross. I have no debt. I have no, there's money in the bank. I can't live my life like that where it's at the edge and the smallest thing, a war or something could happen. Someone goes into bankruptcy and it affects, I can't do that. I'm too old for that now. Yeah.
I just real quick, I got 2 pages killing me with this.
I know, I love that, man.
I don't drink vodka, I drink Henny.
Amen to that, man. At least you're drinking Henny, dude.
That's hilarious.
I love Hennessy.
So we actually have another guest that's going to join on, if you guys don't mind, Mr. Scott Aromatico. So,
what's up?
I was just going to leave in Scott.
What's up, Scott?
One thing I want to say, and I'm going to go. Scott, I love you, Scott. It's good to see you. You know what, though? Something to consider, Stephen, is that you could really do well doing like what the fuck? Oh, sorry. Having
my live streams, you can curse all you want. Fuck shit. There you go.
Having your own brand or branded where it's Kingdom Fragrance Group or Kingdom Fragrance Collection that you can, you could do very well with, because I think you're building your brand right now, and just, of course it's easy to say than do, but
I am slightly working on that. Me and Ross talked about that. I am working with some smaller companies to do some exclusive stuff that is exclusively sold from their brand. However, it's exclusively sold on my website, not on theirs. So I'm looking to kind of do that, but that's a good idea, though. Having a line specific to the website.
Yeah.
And there's these little brands in Italy and France that want to get rid of. I don't want to mean it like this, but there's a lot of them that would be open to doing exclusive, getting rid of some product in the United States. Or you just do you carry full price product as well?
I do carry stuff at Stocklist, yes.
Okay.
When I buy direct from the company.
Yeah, like Kajal, for example.
When I buy Kajal, I buy direct from Mo. When I talk with him, and I do stock it at Stocklist price.
There's a lot of brands outside of the U.S. that are desperate to come into this market. You walking the floor, they have the Milan show in June, and you just walking the floor, giving your business cards out. if I was outside of the U.S., Steve, I would in a heartbeat work with you. I would, without thinking twice, I would work with you because you are someone to be trusted. And I'll go a step further. You could do this all on your own, but if you're ever dealing with someone outside the U.S. that you want to carry exclusively in the U.S., use me as a reference because I will be like, I would, hands down, I trust Steve. I trust you. So, okay. Take care of yourselves. Thank you for having me. God
Thank
bless
you
you
for coming
guys.
on, Georgie. I'm
Thank you,
sure
Ross.
everybody enjoyed having you here.
Love you, buddy.
It's always a pleasure when you do, my man. It's always a
Thanks.
pleasure.
And give Scott my love. I know I'm going to leave when he sits down. Scott, take care, bud.
Hi, Scott.
He didn't
Or hi, Scott.
He don't have his headphones on yet. Now he can hear you.
Scott,
There you go. Hey.
Let me take my phone here. All right, Scott, have a good one, my friend.
Okay,
see
buddy.
you.
I'll talk to you soon.
Bye, guys.
All right, Georgie. Well, Scott, how are you, my man?
I'm great, man. How's everybody?
Buddy.
I
Long
cannot complain. We were having business class.
I know. I was watching. It was awesome.
That's I enjoy it. He's a wealth of knowledge. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of experience from that man in this world since the 90s, as far as the business side of this industry that we love, you know?
I don't think people know how much you know about business, Ross.
Well, I mean, I'm not trying to be some know-it-all. I know a little about a lot is what I like to say. I know a little about a lot.
And I know a lot about a little. How about that?
It's kind of a jack of all trades type of thing, master of none.
That's what I like. Like, I know how to build a house. I know what a 5'10" pitch is. I can wear a tuxedo, and then the next night I can go out and go camp in the middle of South Dakota. Be just fine. I don't know why.
All right, so we have another gentleman that's going to be joining us here in a few minutes that said he needs a few minutes. So we'll see. So Brian, you were pretty quiet here for the last 20 or so minutes, man.
Dude, I'm absorbing, man. I enjoy.
It's like listening to Yoda, you know.
Yeah, it really is. It's just great to hear, allowing George, because when George got so excited, it's like he's like, oh man, I really want to talk about this. I love letting George just like go off, and he's got captivated by like Steve in that conversation. It's just like, okay, well here we'll just
that's why he said he doesn't want to dominate the conversation, because he knows once he gets going, he's got a lot to say, and it's like, no, we want you to do this. Go.
Yeah.
Go.
But it's very interesting, man. I mean, it's very intriguing, man. The next thing, I mean, George is getting his hands in everything. He's fashion, now he's leather goods, fragrances, booze. He needs to get into CBD next. I mean, he might as well just say fuck it. I mean, and then
actually,
I mean, and tobacco. I mean, he's basically, and then he might as well just get into ammunition and firearms. I could just see an AK-47 with the Sahara logo branded all the way across. But seriously, I think it's amazing what he's doing. And it's very knowledgeable.
We have another gentleman that's joining the stream. This is the gentleman I was saying needed a few minutes, and apparently he is ready. Mr. Joe from the Drive On.
How's it going?
What's going on, Joe?
DLD.
Brian, we're finally on the same screen at the same time.
I know, man. I know. Sexiest voice in Fragcom right here. Just letting you guys know that.
More might get upset. You better slow down now. That's that. I would say 1A and 1B with him and Densmore.
Yeah, right.
I agree with
Mike.
Dude, I saw one of his videos and I immediately messaged him. I was like, "Hey, man, you ever thought about starting a podcast?" And because his voice, dude, your voice.
Well, but the thing is, it's the editing skill he has that it's kind of like it's a shame if he only does voiceover.
Well, I gave you a shout out in my video today, and also threw a card up for your video from.
Did you? I just got home. I appreciate anybody doing anything to help me out. I just got home. That's why I was telling Ross, I had to pretty myself up for a second. I was
up on a little bit.
Yeah, you
shining under the lights, which I am. I didn't even bother.
Yeah,
so. I'm on that all today, baby.
See, he's just doing this. You know why he's showing his hair? He's trying to let us know that he's doing better up top.
Oh man,
I do not have much going on up top. I just don't. I do not. Way more going on here. Hell, damn near more hair.
Yeah, you did have the big beard going for a while there.
I did. My wife really liked it. That's why I kept it going. And eventually it got to a point to where she didn't like it. And she's like, all right, you need to trim like half of it. And then I trimmed it down to less than it is right now. And she's like, that's not what I meant. Like, she was very upset.
Yeah,
I was like, well, I actually got a really good response from the audience and they prefer this. So, you know,
my girlfriend keeps telling me to shave completely, but what she doesn't understand is as I get older, you know, I'm kind of looking like a bloated pelican without the beard. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta keep it going. It gives me a nicer jawline, I think. Anyway, we have to do the little things. You know, I think I'm older than everybody here, which is, you know, it's hurtful. But I'm saying,
I don't know who wants to say their ages. I know Brian's probably the youngest.
No, you're the youngest.
Oh, you're my age, right? You're 37, huh?
37. Yeah.
So Brian's my age, and Steve is younger than me.
I'm the youngest, probably.
Yeah, Steve's younger than me. So there we go. By like 2-3 years, I think.
yeah, see,
I'll be 50 in June.
So there you go. There's your competition.
oh, all right, then that's not too bad. I just turned 51, so I'm feeling
Oh,
good.
shit. No way, really? Okay.
Yeah.
You know, speaking of beards, man, my ex-wife asked me to shave my beard off, and hence now I have an ex-wife.
Yeah,
So,
I had an ex-wife right around the time, the age of some of you guys here. That's when I collected my first ex-wife, you know, and that's going to be the last ex-wife. I'm good now. Me and the woman that I'm with now, we've been together 13 years.
Ooh.
Neither one of us want to get married again, and I think we're going to just keep doing it the way we're doing
As
it.
long as it works, it works. That's all that matters.
Yep.
Dude, if you move down to Tennessee or Alabama, man, you're technically married, man. We got 7-year law down here.
Same thing in Texas and Louisiana too, I believe. Like you would technically be married.
Yep.
Community property.
Common law, baby.
By the way, you're in Chattanooga, right?
Yeah.
Brian, yeah, because I in my that one video where I trashed Nashville, I was hoping we didn't.
I don't give a shit, man. No, it's cool.
Oh.
I mean, Nashville's great. I will say this: I love Tennessee. First of all, Chattanooga is a beautiful city. Nashville is also a beautiful city if you like corporate America, especially now. I mean, it's really just taken over like that. But the one thing if you are a bachelor, if you're a single guy out there, and I want you, every single guy out here, if you want to have a freaking amazing time and see the most bachelorette parties you've ever seen in your entire life, go to Nashville. Swear to God, every single day of the week. I went during the NFL draft, and there were so many pissed off bachelorettes because they were like, "Oh my God, why didn't anybody tell us that?" Like the NFL draft was going on this weekend. This is the worst time to come do a bachelorette party. I'm like, it's been on the
That
news.
was pretty spot on.
Yeah, I know, but for months, man, you have the pedal pubs.
You guys here. So it's just not a fragrance related live stream without the guest of all guests when it comes to fragrance channel live streams. You just can't have a live stream in this community without an unaveraged guest.
Oh, nice.
Anybody want Sour Patch Kids? Here you go.
Yeah.
Hey everyone, good to see y'all.
Hey,
Chat.
Hey, what's up?
Thanks for
So now
having me, bro.
we got a cast of characters now. George left, and I got 3 more.
Hey,
Man, we got a full
What's
house.
everybody's weekend looking like? Yeah, we got it. I mean, we got. It's not a huge audience. I think Dan's stream just started or is about to start, so the audience is probably kind of split right now. Actually, I wasn't planning on going this long. I was planning maybe doing an hour, but I mean, if people want to watch, and y'all want to chat, we'll do it. You know what I mean?
I mean, I still got like an hour and a half until my movie starts. So
yeah, we're an hour and 33 minutes. Maybe shut it down to like 2 hours. Or hang out for 20 or so minutes or something like that. I don't want to split the audience too much because Dan's was scheduled before mine. You know.
What movie are you going to see?
The Batman.
Batman, dude.
Yeah, I just I saw it the other. So I've been working on. I got the Stream Deck here. Let's see if it works. There you go. So I've been working on what I'm about to do maybe tomorrow or if I can get it done. But so I saw the Batman. And,
Me too.
What'd you think?
And
Let's not. We don't want to spoil it.
I mean, I was like, damn it, do I have to get off of here?
Not the clip.
Right.
No spoilers. Just overall impression. What did you think? Yeah, I liked it. I have some issues, but I don't want to talk about it now because I don't want to ruin it.
It's okay. Actually, Joe, what I'd love to do is I'd love to talk to you after I get done watching. Now I'll message you tomorrow because I'm a huge movie buff.
Okay.
And I'm a big Batman fan. I'm more of a Superman guy, but they haven't made a great Superman movie since Christopher Reeves. Let's just be completely honest there. But I mean, there are actually. Henry Cavill actually plays a really good Superman.
Yeah, I don't think he was given a fair chance.
Me either. But the new Batman, like I was like, when I saw it was Robert Pattinson, I was like, you shit me. That guy's so weird in real life.
Yeah, he's a strange dude.
Such a weird dude.
He's done some good acting roles in like smaller films and stuff. And Scott, you would probably agree. This is the most realistic Batman that you could ever think of, right?
That's what I
asked.
I love that. I love that they jumped right into it too.
Yeah, yeah.
But this is
so many Batman movies at this point that I was curious if doing the series and the character itself justice.
There's 3 Batmans coming out this year, technically.
Right.
So you have this Batman, and then you have Michael Keaton's going to be in The Flash as well as Ben Affleck's
Batgirl. Yeah.
Batgirl. Maybe.
No, he's in The Flash. Keaton's in The Flash and Batgirl, and then there's Affleck in there too. So
yeah. So what they're doing is it's this whole dimensional thing, but this is all based on year 2 of Bruce Wayne being Batman. So it's Batman year 2. It's kind of crazy.
The thing that's cool about this one is it's the most realistic. Like if there was really going to be a Batman,
it'd be this.
This is what it would be. Yeah, like this kind of thing. You know.
Well, look, I like Batman so much. I don't buy a whole lot from House of Siege. I have a couple pieces from them, but they have the Batman fragrance coming.
I know.
And it looks so badass
and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, it's called Vengeance.
Nice.
It's got the Batman
So
logo.
you can hear my keyboard clicking a little bit, but I'm gonna add all of your channels to the description now that y'all are on here. So that's what I'm gonna turn.
I liked how much he was on screen as opposed to Bruce Wayne. I thought that was a nice touch as well.
Well,
yeah, I really enjoyed that because one of the reviewers I was watching said that they thought he was 70% of the time Batman, but I think it was a little more than that.
Oh man. Yeah,
I think we're closer to like 90% of the screen time was he was Batman.
They went a different direction, and it was well done.
Yeah,
I like that they're doing a spinoff with the Penguin on HBO.
Yeah, and wait till you see that because that was really impressive.
I can't wait, man. I've watched all the interviews, like late night interviews with all the different actors, and I'm like, oh man, this is gonna be so good. Like Colin Farrell, like how he was talking about when he got put in makeup and became the Penguin. How much better it is to be disguised as an actor because you can be whoever the hell you want.
Yeah.
And he's like, I just ran with it. He's like, I just became somebody else because I could. I didn't look like me.
And he really did. I think if none of us were told that was Colin Farrell, I think you would agree, Scott. Yeah, that you would never ever know that that's who that was.
Excuse the real Danny DeVito, man. I will say that. That's big.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely. Then let's do a thing after you've seen it.
Yeah. I would love to, man. I absolutely would love to.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool.
Jim Carrey needs to be the Riddler again. I don't know, man.
Paul Daniels good enough.
Oh man, I like. You know what my favorite movie from him is? All
right, I'm back.
Girl Next Door. Have you ever seen that movie?
That was a good movie.
We also got to wrangle it back in.
Yes. No. Y'all are good. By all means, keep your conversation up. I just want to, as people come on, I want to make sure to put their information in the description in case anybody wants to see more from them, So this is a platform to share with everyone, So anybody if you like anybody you see on screen, you may end up liking their content. Go check their channel out. It's down.
You might just end up liking their content.
Yeah. You might end up thanking me later. You never know.
There you go.
Just saying.
Catchphrase.
Do that intro.
Right. Put down a t-shirt or something.
Yeah, Joe. So I don't know if you saw the revamp on my intro. That picture you made of me, I put it at the end of my intro.
Oh, nice.
With me glitching, and then it goes into the video.
Oh, that's
like
really
just me glitches in the picture with the glitch sound effect, and it goes right into the video. So I think the picture's just too good for me to not use. It was just too good.
Yeah, that was a cool shot of you. Not that I don't want to sound like I really liked that.
I
picture.
agree. It was a cool shot of me.
Yeah, it was a cool shot of you. So I figured, to throw it onto that kind of a vibe. vibe,
Well, it gave this rustic sunburst kind of theme to it. And I was like, damn, God, it came out so good. I put it like it's actually this is gonna seem super let me do this.
Oh, don't put
quick.
it up. I want to see it.
So screen share real quick. This is gonna seem super egotistical, and I am by no means have a big ego. I just think the damn thing's that cool. So it's my background on my computer. It's my background on my computer. I love it.
That's great.
I love it. That's badass. So in the intro, just me glitches.
That's awesome.
Oh, that's cool.
I need that.
Let me pull that down. That's enough of that.
I like the picture that you made of me. I needed.
Yeah, he made one of you like the day after or something like that.
Well, both of you guys shared,
and then he made something for Joe too.
I made Joe
the Sour Patch.
So I'm saying, guys, editing skills, whether it's still image or video editing, Joe's got it going on. I'm telling you.
What did you do? So did you take editing, like film editing or anything like that?
No, you've actually seen my learning process live. So the shameless video is the first time I ever made a video. And
really?
Yeah. And so everything from that point until now has been me watching YouTube tutorials and just figuring out how to do different things.
I'm starting to dabble more too. So I just paid for advanced features because I use Wondershare Filmora. And I just upgraded to 11, and I'm actually paying the extra 20 something a month for all of the premium effects that I hadn't been paying for. In my newest video, I kind of dabble in it a little bit, but it's easier to teach yourself certain things. I mean, there's advanced stuff for everything, obviously, but now that I'm starting to dabble with it a little more, it's easier than most people think to do just little things in your video. Now, I'm sure I'm gonna have a lot more practice to go before I start doing the kind of stuff Joe's doing.
Dude,
I'm just starting to dabble in it myself.
The thing for me, like for years, I just did Photoshop. I would constantly watch Photoshop tutorials. So what I do is I integrate what I learned there into what I do in the video. So that's kind of like, I guess if there's a leg up that I have, that's what it is. And I use DaVinci Resolve since it's free. And I mean, what it allows you to do for free is pretty damn amazing. It's got green screen stuff, and I mean, so that's been really helpful. But yeah, I mean, I always enjoy learning things. So this whole process has been real fun for me.
Dude, you're nailing it. I mean, you're killing it, man.
Dude, EJ's like your biggest fan. Every time I talk to EJ, he brings you up.
Dude, he's such a good dude, man. He's such a cool guy.
He is.
I appreciate, like, everybody, it's kind of weird because I came into this community not long ago, and everybody's been so cool, but EJ especially, obviously, I mean, he's been really cool. In fact, if it wasn't for EJ, I was only going to do that one video. I even say in the end of that video, all right, that's it, I'm done, and he was like, no, you should do more. Like, he encouraged me to do more. So him and the response from people in the comment section is why I continue to even do anything. So
you're doing it, man. I mean, you're
really. I agree.
Appreciate it.
I'm with Joe, on average Joe on this. Absolutely.
Yeah,
get the light applause, I'm loving it.
I thought you were a professional video editor. Dude. I was just
I assume that's what you do. That's what I assume.
No, I work with my hands. I'm dirty every day. Which is why I say I got to pretty up before I come on.
You got to hit the Gojo or the cherry bomb on the hands before you get on the screen.
I do have the cherry bomb one. That's the best one.
Cherry bomb's the best one. Yeah,
I like it better than the orange.
Which I need. I've been getting pretty calloused up with the knurling bars at the gym lately. I'm starting. My hands are starting to look like I'm in the labor field again. They don't look like I'm selling cars anymore. So
yeah, I actually have a pumice stone. Sometimes my hands are so dirty from stains and different things. I have a stone that I have to scrub my skin with. So that's how not a professional editor I am. You know what I mean? I don't think
we used to keep a stiff bristle brush at the shop sink, so you could really get that shit under your nails and all that stuff. Get all that out.
A whole new meaning to getting stoned. All right.
There you go.
It's definitely a whole new meaning.
Yeah.
Not the fun kind at all.
There's a bald bastard sighting, ladies and gentlemen. Chad from A Gentleman's Journey is now in the house.
Hey, Chad.
What's up,
Chad?
Chad?
Chad, you want to come on? You're
Chad
more than
was,
welcome. Paige,
one
you're
of the
welcome
first
as well,
streams I
my
ever
man.
did.
Chad's cool, man. I like Chad.
Yeah,
I've
he's
been
good.
watching Chad for a long time. Chad's one of the reasons I was already into getting cheaper stuff, but Chad was like my source for an opinion on cheaper stuff long before I started my channel. I mean, Chad's been around for like 10 years.
Actually,
Yeah.
you know what, Ross? I don't think I ever
With
told
Joe.
you that.
Joe started right around the same time.
On average, Joe.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I ever told you this, Ross, but you are
What's that?
actually the reason that I got involved in this whole world.
Really?
So, yeah, I'll tell you the story. So I guess because you have a gaming channel too, right? Or you did?
Yeah, that's just it's just whenever I feel like playing, I record it. I don't take it as serious as my fragrance channel.
So I always collected, I had a little small collection of fragrances, nothing major, but it was always like a thing since, well, you saw my Drakkar video, since Drakkar Noir. And I built a retro gaming cabinet with MAME in it and all that kind of stuff so I could play Pac-Man because I'm 50, I got to find my pleasures where I can find them. So sometimes I throw on Fast Times at Ridgemont High, I play Pac-Man, and I feel like I'm
same, man. I'm trapped in the 90s.
So I think because you had a gaming thing and you had that whole thing going, you got recommended to me on my homepage, and you were doing a Paisley Sky review. It was right around that time.
Happy Land.
And I remember you sprayed it, and you were like, it just makes me happy,
It does.
And I know. Good. And I thought to myself, I want to be happy. I want to smile. So,
I want to be happy.
Yeah,
he looks happy.
So
why am I not happy? I need this.
So I ordered Paisley Sky, and I was like, "Oh wow, man, this is."
He was right. I'm happy now.
He was right, and that was it. That's where it began. So
All my
whenever,
like
so it's your fault.
I had absolutely no idea, Joe. I had absolutely no idea. I appreciate you sharing that with me, man. That means a lot. It really does.
So if anybody hates me, send your email.
I highly doubt that. Yeah, make sure to click the link tree for my email if you want to send me a hateful email about how you don't like Joe and it's my fault.
Yeah.
So we got a couple of people here that seem to be wanting to jump on. So Mr. Chad from A Gentleman's Journey is here.
Hey, Chad.
What's going on, guys?
What's up, Chad?
Oh, hey, Joe, I sent you a text maybe about 30 minutes ago. I don't know if you still got the same number.
Yeah, no, I've replied
And Mr.
back.
Michael Dinsmore.
I never got it.
Maybe about 10 minutes ago. Gotcha.
Okay, I never got it.
We got a full house now.
Hey, Mike.
I'm his biggest fan.
You have a better mic than me, though.
We have the same microphone and the same mixer.
Don't you have a Shure SM7B?
Run with it.
All right.
So, Mike, I gotta know the secret. Hold on, guys. I gotta ask Michael a secret. So I didn't send you the link. How the hell did you get the link?
I know people. There might be someone below you that might have the link.
Yeah, obviously. Then I was like, I have no problem. Absolutely, you're welcome. I'm just like, I'm confused. I'm looking at you at the bottom, and I'm like, how the fuck did Dinsmore?
Yeah, you were hosting. I didn't want to harass you, so I messaged.
No, by
Joe
all
and I
means,
stole it
man.
from him.
You're always welcome on the channel, dude. You know that.
Absolute, brother.
By the
we
way,
got a full house full of good guys. I appreciate everybody.
Here's what I'm wearing right now.
Mr. Miami Nights.
It
He had the graphic
today.
ready and all that.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
I'm messing with OBS, so I'm figuring out how to do all this
ODB?
kind of stuff.
OBS.
That was cool.
OBS. But this arrived when I got home from work. I already threw it on. I love this stuff, man. It's so good.
Awesome. I appreciate that.
Chad, you bald bastard. How's your day going, man?
It's all right. I was with Rush earlier today.
Oh, Rushy Rush. I haven't talked to Rush in a while. We have our little admin group for my Facebook group, me, him, Clifton, and Miguel. And that's usually the only time I chat with him. We'll randomly have something spark conversation, and we end up chatting for a little while. I haven't had a conversation with him in a minute.
I went over to his place.
How is he?
He's doing all right, considering. So he's got I think another medical appointment in the next week or two. But we filmed a few videos, went for lunch, and then I'm gonna see him again in a few weeks.
Well, there you go. There you go. Trust me, sooner rather than later, once the world starts to calm down a little more, I'm still going to hold to that coming to Toronto.
All right.
So I can see you guys.
Okay.
I don't know when it's going to happen. The world's got to calm its ass down first.
It's a good place to visit, just not to live. Canadians are not as friendly as people think we are.
So
Man in the middle.
we got an interesting one. When and where is the fragrance convention? Right here and right now.
Long time no see, Chad. How are you, man?
I'm doing all right. You, Michael?
Very good. We did that long video. That was a cool video.
Yeah, that was almost 2 years ago, guy.
That's
I'm
cool.
not as social as I used to be. I'm a lot more to myself nowadays.
You are much more of an introvert these days.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
I think like it comes with my job. Like when you're dealing with that volume of people, the noise.
Well, you
Like,
just want to have some quiet and some peace when you get home off. After
like,
work, you know?
Rush lives downtown, and for me, downtown's exhausting. So.
So one thing I haven't asked anybody, because I'm getting the idea because Joe just mentioned what he's wearing. Who's wearing what today? We haven't discussed that.
Low
Bora
Kiwi
Bora?
action for me. Bora Bora.
That's like what, an $8 fragrance?
15, but
Okay.
15 for the 100 mil.
Why would you have a problem with that so-called cheapy king?
Yeah.
I'm the queen, not the king no more.
My princess. Chad, what you wearing today, man?
We're in bond number 9, Queens on this one, and
No, it's so fitting, Queens.
Yeah. And on this one,
Had to.
I forget what I'm wearing on this one. I forget. I was wearing Creed White Amber earlier. Because Rush and I, we reviewed that one, and also Tom Ford Anthracite.
Got a lot of fragrances on skin. Quite the layering project.
Like on my ankle, I have this. On my right ankle, I have on my belly
Brian,
button.
what you wearing today, Brian?
I'm rocking a Tet Liberta Orange, an afternoon with fun. Ooh, that way.
I've never
Nice.
tried that one. Tell me a little bit about that one. What's the highlight of it as far as accords?
You were looking at incense myrrh. You've got
sold already.
Prairie sage. I mean, this thing is a green beast, dude. This thing is just
sold already. As soon as you said incense and myrrh.
Yeah. This thing
smoke
is
and resin.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to find at discounters. When it pops up, it's gone like that. I was lucky enough to get mine from Frag by, but I put myself on that waiting list. So as soon as the email popped up, I did the same thing with Mega Mare. I got Mega Mare. I hit send. I went back to put another one in my cart, and it was already sold out. So apparently, I got the last bottle. So, but yeah, this is awesome. This is a very long.
I need to try that. Their discovery sets are not expensive at all. Twisted Lily has them cheap.
No, actually, full retail on this is only like $145, I think.
Yeah, but I mean, with Ita Libre d'Orange, I like to, unless I know I'm gonna like it, I want to sample it because some of their shit's pretty challenging. You know.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes, absolutely. This one is
today.
I can send you a box of samples, Ross.
Oh, really?
Have to talk later.
I have a whole discovery kit.
We may have to have a conversation afterwards.
I'll send
Steve,
it to
what you wearing today, man?
Alexandria Fragrances Dior Sauvage clone, or the Elixir. I'm sorry.
Oh,
the
that's Sauvage
clone.
Elixir. I'm wearing Elixir.
I have been
the original.
Just finding myself gravitating towards it a lot. It's a really unique.
They hit the nail on the
scent.
head.
It's nice. I really like it.
This is the
nice.
first time I wear the actual original over the clone in like 6 wearings, 7 wearings. I usually wear the Alexandria version. It's that good. It's that spot on. Scott, what you wearing, man?
Well, Brian and I had a live last night, and we talked about this. It was his suggestion, so I am wearing X with business over pleasure.
I remember that one live. Yeah, X layered with business over pleasure. How is it? How's it smell?
It's awesome.
So it's basically like making a musky version of business over pleasure.
Yeah, it's really, really well done.
I may have to try that.
You're gonna have to.
I may have to because I'm not the layering type. I don't really
I know.
like to layer.
I've heard you say that a lot. Yeah.
You know, I get requests to do layering videos all the time, and I respond to every single one of them because I don't want them to wonder if I'm going to do it. It's like, look, I just pick a fragrance and go. You know, I'm making something up if I do a video on it.
I was wondering if I should ask permission before I did it. I was like, should I call Ross and make sure this?
And that's your fragrances, man. You do whatever the hell you want.
No, do a freaking suicide. The Haroff suicide. Just do them all.
Mikey, what you wearing, man?
If All right. So first off, I need to send you 4.0 Elixir to see what your thoughts are on that, Ross. Just because
He said I have something to say about that. You think that one's
I
great?
do. Yeah, we have to see what you think, and you can say it's horrible or amazing. It's up to you. So the only way to describe this is I was making 6 different fragrances before I jumped on here because I was listening to George talk, and then I just washed my hands real quick. But my shirt is covered in all of the droplets of oil and such. So I smell like
a bunch of everything.
It's ridiculous. Yeah, you
smell like a perfumery at the end of the day.
Yeah, I smell like one of my Frankenbatch mixes, which is just a ton of leftover oils put in a pile. I mean, it smells amazing. It's.
Well, I mean, if you can manage to smell like fallen leaf, you're in good shape.
Yeah, right. No,
well, I don't spray it that often, but you see, it's right here in arm's reach. I do this I'm just bored. I'll look at it and I just start sniffing at it. It's so potent. I don't even have to spray it. I just sit here. And
I got 10 fragrances right here, so yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, that's all I do. Yeah, I got little decants, and then I got my two favorites from Making Sense. Literally,
awesome.
Always right here.
So
that's awesome.
The lesser known fact that you hear it here first, Mike. Just in case you were curious, if I ever wear them, it's not that I wear them. I just sniff them at my desk all day while I'm editing and shit.
You know what's funny? I do the same. So I'll be honest. All the Zahara fragrances are right here, and so is this one. I'm not gonna lie. I'll be honest with you.
Hey, there you go.
I really do enjoy smelling that, but like, there's a lot that you just go smell over there, and it's just the wall of frags that I used to stand in front of. I'll stand there sometimes for an hour, just open a bottle.
Dude, I do the same thing.
Yeah, it's relaxing. There's no noise around you. I'll put like music on a headset, and I'll just chill.
I put Spotify on because it's right on the other side of my monitor. Is all my fragrances. I put Spotify on, click a certain playlist, and I do the same thing. I don't do it every day, but I would say it probably happens at least 3 times a week where I just randomly stand there for God knows how long, grabbing bottles, smelling them. Certain ones will make you close your eyes, and just it's therapeutic, man. It really is.
It really is. Yeah, same.
I'm weird.
I made this thing. I don't know if it's good or bad. We'll find out. This is a take on Drakkar War. I think it's trash, but I'm not sure yet.
I made this. It's terrible, but we'll see.
Don't know if I don't like it. Don't know if I like it yet or not.
Yeah.
Yeah. It won't. That won't make it to my. That won't make it anywhere. I mean, it was in the first attempt. So. But it's funny. Last night I kept trying them, and I kept going back and forth. And like I have this to reference, which is like a old school splash. So I'm using that to try to basically remake it.
Kind of reverse engineering through your nose.
Yeah, and it smells great. I'm not gonna lie, the one that's there, it smells good, but it's weird when I smell that one in the bottle. It brings me back to when I was younger. When I smell the new formulation, the patchouli comes through, and I'm like, what the? I'm like patchouli. So, and then my version I like better than the new version of Drakkar, like the newest bottles. This little spray one I have.
Well, with your version of Elixir you're sending me, go ahead and throw a little sample decant in there of that because I really like Drakkar Intense. So you have my intrigue.
Oh no, it's not intense.
Is that
Wild Vetiver?
Yeah, it is.
Yep, I have a bottle. I haven't since you and I talked about it. I still haven't pulled it out. I haven't wore that in forever.
Is that the only Bentley from like their exclusive line that you have?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
And little known fact, speaking of EJ actually sent that to me because he didn't like it like 2 years ago. That was the mysterious friend that randomly sent it to me because he didn't like it. It's like, you want to check it out? You can do a review if you like it. And I ended up liking it.
Yeah, it's like Tom Ford, way better.
EJ, nobody realizes how many fragrances EJ buys. EJ will buy something, wear it 2 or 3 times, whether he likes it or not, and he'll swap it or sell it or trade it. He just likes to try different things. He supports, tries, and moves on.
Wow.
All right. He's such a good dude.
I think it's kind of costly.
Yeah, well, I mean, you think our lives are fragrances.
Right.
That's all he does all day long, you know?
Yeah. Is that
coming
EJ
up with
Wells?
ideas? EJ Wells from Happy Land, yeah.
You want to talk about a weird conversation? He and I
Sure.
were on like a chat one time for about 2 hours, and we were just talking about, hey, have you ever thrown this into a mix, like this chemical, this thing? What about perfumer's alcohol? Have you ever had the stuff that smells like dirt feet? Yeah, I've had that before. And it was one of those, like, if it was ever recorded, first off, it would sound like the most dorky conversation you've ever had in your life.
But it's probably
we
pure
were
gold.
it went by in like 2 seconds.
Nice.
And we were just like, this is so cool. Like, it just, yeah, we tried that before. Oh, we had to throw so much away. You tried this, you tried that. Such a good dude.
Oh yeah, he's a great guy, man. He really is, and he's the mastermind behind George's Solids. And he takes it upon himself to try different things and mix different oils, and then let you know, hey, try this, try that. So he's real big into layering stuff too.
Oh yeah.
I have a pure oil. It's a Happy Land bottle with a handwritten label of Hefe's Gold that he sent to me. He's like, only me and Hanny have it, and I want to send you some. And it's crazy strong too. It's really good. EJ's really, really into this stuff. Like I said, y'all think we love this stuff. EJ really loves this stuff.
Dude, Cripple Creek is so freaking good.
God, it's like pouring bourbon on yourself.
It really
in the
is.
opening, anyways.
Yeah,
It reminds me of what the band would actually smell like, dude.
yeah, probably.
I actually,
It is. I mean,
it looks like it would suit Joe. Honestly, not on average Joe. Dry down, low down.
Try down, low down.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
it's
Like the
so
scent
suited
profile,
me.
Yeah.
You visually, I picture you. that
Yes.
smell like fragrance for some reason.
Well, because if you catch me on any Saturday night, I smell like bourbon anyway. So that
Well, I
was
think
like
it's
the
the
next
voice
level.
too, and you're laid back and everything. Like the vibe of the fragrance fits your vibe.
Dude, I was so happy. So he sent me the logo, like I guess maybe a month before the release.
Yeah, that's
And I
usually-
saw it, and as soon as you saw Cripple Creek and the cowboy hat, I just wrote back whiskey, and he said yes. And I was like,
Well, I had to ask him. I have a Cripple Creek 2 hours away from me. It's an old casino town, and I was
yeah,
like,
yeah, you're there.
he's like, no. And he told me the band and the song and everything. This place in California.
Yeah, no, but yeah, I thought it was because I saw that town near you, because I know you're out there in Colorado, and I was like, I figured, I know the song from the band, but that town is also really prominent in a lot of the culture. So I didn't know if it was that, because that is like it was an old miners town or something, like way back, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have those of you familiar with the Cannoli Mafia, make sure to drop a 69 in the chat. I see a couple of you have already. Cannoli sighting. So
Hey,
speaking
Ross,
of-
I appreciate you having me. I'm going to have to step out.
Oh, no worries, Steve. I
but,
appreciate you coming on and sharing the
appreciate all y'all.
information. It was a really good chat, man. Really, really
Same
Nice
here.
meeting you, Steve.
Steve, congrats on the little one.
Thank you so much. Y'all have a blessed rest of your weekend, and y'all be safe.
You too, brother.
I got
Later,
to
brother.
bounce too, so it's Saturday night, so that's generally my time to make dinner for the wife. So
Well, Chad, I appreciate you making an
Chad.
appearance, man. I
Just
really
wanted
do.
Good to see you, Chad.
quick cameo. So
Good
Well,
to
I
see you, bud.
appreciate it.
have a
You
good
always
night.
welcome, my man. Have a great weekend.
Awesome. Then there were 6.
Dun, 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 dun.
I'm leaving soon too. I got Chinese coming here.
Uh-oh.
Just a sec.
About to be 5. Watch out. Uh-oh.
I think I see more posts from Scott than anybody else on a daily basis.
Yeah, Scott's
Yeah,
on.
man, that's a good thing.
Scott, the algorithm feeds me Scott on IG all the time. Trust me, I see it every day.
I don't even know if it's the next day unless I see a post from Scott. That's my goal, and that's a compliment, man. That's a compliment.
I'm hungry.
Today when you see a new post from Scott Aromatico.
That's not a bad thing. I think with Joe with Dry Down Low Down, I was either the 13th or 12th subscriber or something.
You were
Um,
definitely early on.
I
There's no
commented, I'm like, this is amazing. I watched it like 3 times.
doubt. Nice. I appreciate that.
Hence
Yeah,
the
you were
biggest fan.
definitely early. I was just shocked that anybody paid attention to anything, and then I started there were people coming in that were especially people that I didn't think would pay attention to me, right? Like, because you have a presence here, Ross, the list goes on, and I was just like, this is kind of crazy, because I went from in a short window of time, and it is kind of weird because you think about like YouTube, if you're a part of it, you don't maybe think of it the same way, but when you watch people every day, it becomes like a television show, right?
Right.
So
It
you
is
see people,
Well,
yeah.
this is today's TV. I had a guy. He looked up maybe 21, 22. His name's Eric. I don't know if you're watching right now, Eric. When I went to the casino in Blackhawk the last time we went a couple weeks ago, and they had a mask mandate over there, so I had to wear a mask for the first time in forever over there. And I'm sitting there answering comments on YouTube while my wife's getting money out the ATM. And out of nowhere, he just walks up to me. Hey, are you Ross from TLTG Reviews? And my wife said, "Oh my God!" And she walked away. I started busting out. He's like, "Man, I was pretty confident that was you because I know you come out here and everything." And that was what I told her. I said, "I know it's funny." I said, "But you have to. Have to have the perspective of if he watches me all the time, I'm kind of like a TV show for him in essence. I'm not trying to act like somebody, but that's how I view things. Watch you all the time. It's like, oh shit, look, so and so. You know, same thing.
No, it does become that. I mean, because you know, I went from being like not somebody who even paid attention to YouTube to somebody who paid attention to it all the time. You know, my daughter and stuff would always talk about YouTubers, and I'd be like, "Look, I don't know what you're talking about. You know, it's not network television and stuff like that."
Right.
And then I started watching it, and I was like, "Oh, this is actually kind of more interesting than network television because you can find things that directly appeal to you.
You can find more relatable personalities a lot easier.
Absolutely, you know."
And speaking of more relatable personalities, sorry to cut you off there, Joe, but
I know who's
coming.
coming.
About to get a lot more funny. Mr. Joey Cannoli himself.
I'm still not wearing a tracksuit, Cannoli.
The king of late night stream.
Is he's muted?
He's muted. I don't know why.
You're muted, Joey.
I had a
big gabagool on the button. I mean.
I had a piece of provolone stuck on one of my keys. What's up, boys? What's going on?
Hey, Joey.
What's up, Joe? What's up, 2 cents? Scott, Joe, making sense, Ross.
Joe. What's going on, brother? Joe.
Joes.
Couple of Joes.
Lots of cents and lots of Joes, man. What the fuck?
Ooh, stats.
Black. I had the aftershave a while back. I ran out of that bottle. That's some good shit.
This
Nobody
is
knows.
Great shit no one talks about. I've been wearing it since I was 15.
Did you ever have Stetson Sierra? That's my favorite one.
I did. It was fresh, right? Or not? Was it a fresher one? Or am I thinking of Stetson?
Spicy. It was very spicy and green. It had that aftershave vibe, but a lot more green to it.
Did it come in a fancy looking bottle?
Yeah, it had like the little gold cap with the rivets.
Yes,
green,
the rivet.
dark green, like polo greens kind of glass. That's what it's. If you look on eBay, it's like $100 for a half-ounce bottle these days. Hard as hell to get. That was my favorite one.
Wow, I think Stetson Black is my number one. I used to have Sierra, and I think I sold it to someone for like $5 because I thought that's what all it was worth.
Well, I mean, it was a fragrance. They're cheap,
right?
When they're available, they're cheap. You know,
Christmas time, they're clearance for like 50% off. You can get like 20 bottles of Stetson.
Yeah, you hit the Walgreens and CVS. Those little gift sets are like $5, $10.
Yeah.
I think Joey, you made me buy that Stetson Black one day on the live stream. You were talking about it, and I ordered it while we were on stream.
Telling you, it's good stuff.
It was like $15. It was big.
So I appreciate everybody in the chat. We've, not the biggest crowd as normal. Normally I have a bigger crowd during the week. I think it's because people are out and about. There's other streams going on, but I do appreciate all currently 52 of you that are watching. I do appreciate it. That's why I'm still going. If you guys still want to watch, people are still popping on. We'll keep going. I allocated the rest of my day to do this if need be. It's fun.
I'm here.
There you go.
Well, Joe, I know you're here. If there's a stream on, you're available.
You do this all the time. This is,
I mean, I'm here.
I'm going to take off, Ross. Thanks for the invite. Nice to meet all you guys.
Great to see you again, brother.
Good to see you.
I'll probably have you shortly.
Appreciate each and every one of you guys.
Hey,
peace out, bro.
Later, brother.
Later.
See you post.
Brian, you're going to be going to the movies pretty soon, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to be heading out here shortly.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll hang out for a little while, and if you got to go, you got to go, and we'll get down to Florida.
Go.
Yeah,
I think this guy right here is telling me, "Hey, dude, you gotta fucking go outside."
I'm a bit jealous, Brian, if you're going to see the movie. I'm not going to lie.
Dan's out his mind. I'm not doing 24 hours. No, thank you.
I would be like this.
Yeah, that's Joey's thing.
We'd all fall asleep here.
I got to roll all night if you need him to.
I mean, hell,
Joey, what you got going on this weekend, man? We haven't talked in a little bit. Let's catch up.
I'm waiting to see Batman. The wife's getting ready. I was gonna go to get a little matinee price and get a little,
That's where Brian's going. Brian's going to see Batman a little bit.
But we may. I don't know. She said she's doing her makeup. I don't know unless we got a special occasion in the bedroom. I don't know. I think that means we're going somewhere. So
Are the goggles making an appearance on this trip?
yeah, baby, what are you doing?
You don't want to wear those to see the Batman. It's dark. That movie's dark enough. You won't be able to see a goddamn thing. You know what I mean?
Man, so it being almost 3 hours long, like, does it feel like it's 3 hours long?
I would like to tell you that it doesn't, but it did. It did for me.
That's long.
You could cut probably 45 minutes from it, and it would have been a much tighter.
Have you ever watched
There's a lot of filler in the story.
I don't. The way he designed it's not necessarily filler, but there's parts towards the end. It feels like it's starting to drag just a little bit. So that's my opinion. A lot of people are screaming masterpiece, and I do love it.
That's a bold statement right there.
I know. I don't want to say too much because so many people haven't seen it yet. But
yeah, man, dude, it's so funny.
With the expectation that it's phenomenal, and somebody get let down. You never know.
It's like us as as fragrance reviewers. We're like, yeah, we got to get the new fragrances. Be the first one to put out a review, and all these guys who have like gone out and watched the Batman and have already posted videos about like spoilers and all this shit. I'm like, it came out yesterday. What are you doing?
Right.
Why are you doing this?
Yeah, it's a race.
The weekend's up. Yeah.
I can't stand that after so I like watching the UFC fights, things like that.
Yeah.
But I work all the time, literally like 90%
Well, I mean,
of the days.
There's only one thing that matters to me and Unaverage Joe on Sunday.
What's that?
Yeah.
AEW.
Oh, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
Pay-per-view.
They only do 4 pay-per-views a year, and there's always surprises, and they're always worth every penny. I'm watching CM Punk and MJF. That's the only reason I'm even buying it. And there's probably, and I'm going bold statement here. Bray Wyatt, whatever his real name is gonna be the reveal for him, or Jeff Hardy, one of the two,
or maybe both, because they did it before with Daniel Bryan and Adam Cole.
They have some shit pop up. So I know you guys don't really want to talk the wrestling talk, but while I got Joe, I'm excited about it. I can't wait.
Hey, I am too. We'll catch up on that.
I want to know who's the hottest Catwoman right now.
No, it's got to be
Michelle Pfeiffer.
Michelle Pfeiffer, right? I agree. It's Michelle Pfeiffer. I haven't seen this new one.
I got to feel that way too, because she always had that provocative look as Catwoman. You know what I mean?
Dude, I had on
her. Fierce.
Does it have to be theatrical Catwoman, or just
it could be the TV Catwoman.
All right, I got to go back to when I was a kid, and don't be sitting here like, oh, you're so old and stuff like that, because I know you're all going to think that
you're old.
But Julie Newmar in the 1966 Adam West Batman was the hottest Catwoman of all time.
You're gonna make me. Is that in black and white? Let me look it up.
No, it's not. You know what? Julie?
It was in pictures. It wasn't even in an actual.
Is this one of those silent films?
Yeah. It was a flip book. They didn't invent film yet. You know what I mean? Like, what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that name was Charlie Chaplin. Yeah, I mean, no. I mean, I could see that. It's funny, that so they have all the original Batman, like outfits, uniforms, whatever, whatever they're called, costumes. They're all in like a vault, and every single time there's a new Batman, they get a try on all the other Batmans.
That's pretty. Oh, she's pretty.
She's hot.
Ken Shaving is on my team. He said she's gorgeous. She
is gorgeous, but she does a lot of Michelle Pfeiffer.
But it's the whip that made Michelle Pfeiffer so hot. The way the whip was sexual. I was attracted to the whip watching the movie. She really knew how to handle that thing.
She did.
Yeah, she also just.
Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you watching that have never seen Joey Cannoli, welcome to Joey Cannoli on the live stream. It's cold. It was the whip, the way she could handle that thing.
It was long and black and deadly.
Like a boss.
It was.
I love it.
I now don't like sensual lies. He says Julie Newmar was the Catwoman in silent films and Charlie Chaplin was the Penguin. I'm not that old, you son of a bitch.
I mean, Barry's showing his age now. Jesus. That's the Barry.
Yeah, but let's talk about how terrible the movie was. But am I the only one that thought Halle Berry was a hot Catwoman? I mean, the movie was terrible.
I said Halle Berry until you said Michelle Pfeiffer. But I couldn't pull away from, like I said, that fierce, provocative look Michelle Pfeiffer brought to the character. You know what I mean? I couldn't get away from it.
I mean, Halle Berry's hot no matter what she does. I mean,
Right.
Exactly.
a terrible Catwoman.
Yeah, it was terrible.
But in Swordfish, I mean, yeah, I'll watch her naked all day.
Yeah.
I mean, why
X-Men
not?
even.
X-Men.
She was great in Storm.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like her in Monsters Ball, but she was a little
that's
bit broken in that movie.
Monsters
You know?
Ball was great.
I think that added to the appeal. She was such a broken, vulnerable woman, but she knew she wanted to feel good, and so did I. So shout out to Monsters Ball.
All right, Billy Bob.
Yes.
Yeah. Make
Billy
it feel
Bob
good.
right there, man. If anything, dude, how does he get some of the roles that he like? Could you imagine Halle Berry being like, "I got to grind up on that guy"? But I mean,
He has a sex appeal to him. I know a lot of women that like it. I don't
that's
know.
what sex appeal. He's drunk all the time. Name one movie he is not a drunk asshole in. One movie, except Sling Blade. Besides that movie, name one other movie where he's not a drunk.
That's
asshole.
true.
French fries.
Well, he stays within his wheelhouse, I guess you could say.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
even when he played Goliath on Amazon Prime, and that was a great TV show. But
That was really good.
Do you think is he just playing himself, or is he just an alcoholic? What do you think?
I think he's playing.
Do it. You know,
His
and
son.
I don't know why I didn't think about it earlier. We got JoJo and Joey, like the Ed, and Eddie.
Yeah, Ed.
Go to the third power. We're gonna get overrun.
You got to put us all three on. You got to put us all together. JoJo,
Yeah, no,
Joey.
Can you do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
There you go. Like that.
I'm still.
put
I
Joey.
see,
Oh,
I
no,
see
I
be on the
can't.
end. There you go.
There you
JoJo,
go. Yeah,
Joey.
There you go.
I might.
JoJo.
I can still
You should
represent
rotate us around in between, so we're all in the sandwich.
Yeah, there you go. We're just a couple of weekend warriors. I don't know why it felt right for the background,
Cheers
but I
to the
just went
weekend.
with it.
No, I like that. I like that.
You know?
I've been having fun making those movie entrance videos. Those are fun. Like putting people's faces. I don't know if you saw the one with Chris Fox.
No, I didn't see that. But there's so much available to us to play around with graphics and things like that. There's so much ease of use with things now that why not? On our phones. I had actually Ogun from Quality Fragrances asked me today, what do I use for my thumbnail? And a lot of people, when I get asked about that, are surprised that I say it's just PixArt on my phone. I do my apps on my phone. I mean, my thumbnails on my phone, and they don't really look that way, I guess, technically. But yeah, it's just an app I pay $6 a month for that I do it on my phone. So it's so easy to really have some fun with some of this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I use Canva. I use a couple of different editing platforms on my phone. I mean, you can do anything from a damn iPhone, dude.
Nowadays,
Yeah.
It's so funny. So what you're watching me on, I have a GoPro Hero 10. I freaking love this thing. All right, this thing is incredible. The resolution that you can shoot in, 5.3K.
Well, right here.
Yeah, but I can't. The editing software I use can't withstand me shooting in 5.3K. So I had to get a different editing software. But if you look at, so like an iPhone, if you shoot, because anybody can
format first, you got to edit through that format, save it, then transfer it so you can edit it the way you want.
Oh, your iPhone can't visually. Yeah, you can't visually show 5.3K, so it won't even save in 5.3K. But anyways, but it's so funny how the iPhone, like if you just take an iPhone and set it up, you can start recording. Now, if you have a DSLR, if you have a GoPro, like you actually need to work with it. You need to get your exposure and saturation, all this shit. An iPhone does it automatically for you. I mean, digitally enhances everything. It just looks better. You look better through an iPhone than you do actually in person. I mean, let's just be honest.
Well, the optics are totally different from what the human eye can do, I guess.
Yeah.
It's like, look at it. Technology has advanced to that point.
It's just so, I mean, can you remember when we used to, flip phones were a thing? I mean, the cell phone wasn't even a thing. And all of a sudden, iPhones. I mean,
shit, I'm still waiting for my parents to let me have a beeper. What you talking about?
Speaking of beeper, what popped up
$7
on
a month. That's all the damn service costed. Come on.
Yeah. I was Zach Morris, dude. I had the,
you had the brick phone?
The Ericsson, the Ericsson brick.
I had a pager at the time that was the first one that would actually play a voicemail like out loud. So I can't remember what the fucking thing was called, but
Motorola.
No, it might have been a Motorola, but you could there was a play button on it, so people would leave a message and you would push play and you would hear it, right? And so the movie Friday had just came out. So friends of mine, and I have a business, so I'd go to listen to it, and it would be like, "You got knocked the fuck out," you know what I mean? Like just me playing the thing, and it was. It's a mess. So the audible pager was not a good idea, is what I'm getting at. I'm taking you back to the olden times again.
Yeah, there's no muffling that.
I could imagine what Smokey from Friday would say on that.
That was all the time.
Hey man, you ain't got a job. You ain't got shit to do, man. Gonna get high today.
Yeah.
So Mikey, you kind of fade off randomly, like because you're wearing all black and your head's down. Like I just like, is he there? I gotta really look for a second. Like I lose you from time to time in my peripheral.
Yeah, I hide. It's a goal of mine to be hidden.
I see that.
I was trying to steal the background.
I like that.
I noticed.
It's fun.
It looks good.
Yeah, I like to black myself out sometimes. If I lift my hat up, all of a sudden you see me.
Yeah, because I mean, you always lean your head down and you just like talking to the mic real quiet right here. You know,
yeah. If I want to talk dumb like that, it's a different story.
You like pops.
I got a cold though, so I have the DJ at.
I know you donate
7.
to PayPal.me/JujuBean.
Yeah, if
I don't know. Come on.
Shit, it cracks me up every time. He'll just pop on, say that, and then leave.
I have the same centralized. I used to own the same Nokia phone from the Matrix. Centralizes. That's a shout out.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if I'm the oldest one here right now. Joe and I had this conversation, I think, before. It's one of us. So we'll leave that alone. Is you, Joe? I remember having the Cellular One used to be in Walmart, and that was the brand. That was what Sprint turned into, and all these other brands, whatever. That was like the foundation. And I had this little Motorola phone that it was before even flip phones were available. It was this block about this fat, about this thick.
Yeah.
And I was the only person that had a cell phone at the time. Like nobody in high school had it. I had it like my senior year or something. And you would hold down buttons and to get it to delete. There was not a game on it, nothing even like that yet. And I remember it would charge for like 6 hours, maybe is how long it would last.
Like 30 hours battery life.
Yeah, it would only last for 6 hours. Like even like not being used. You had signal sometimes. You'd be in a call, it would just disappear.
I remember when we had a bag phone when I was a kid. Don't use it unless you have it. It's like $5 a minute.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember when digital signal. Remember, it was analog at first.
Oh yeah.
And it was just constant, like static and just
horrible
dog shit audio.
Something.
What about Snake? Anybody remember Snake?
Oh,
Yeah.
Nokia.
Snake.
On the Nokia?
Oh yeah. Snake, man. You ever got to the end? I have. That shows how much you didn't get laid in high school. Yeah.
Somebody with your hand on your phone in your pocket while you were in class. Back when you could just do it all with one hand because you just knew where all the notes.
So my best
friend, conversation, just check what they said, and it's right back to just going to typing without looking, pretending to pay attention.
My best friend back in the day used to work for me, and he was a server, and I would see him with his hand in his apron, and he would be texting on his phone. I'm like, dude, you texting? He's like, no, I'm not. I'm like, pull your hand out of your apron.
Whoa, what was he doing?
And then like, get up.
Yeah, school and texting wasn't even a thing when we were in school. It was
different generation
usage. Yeah, it's the funniest part because the cool part is for me, I'm 43. So the gap where we are is right where technology and old school work ethic, I think, would meet hand in hand. So AOL, IM, Instant Messenger, whatever you want to call it, was just out when I was like a senior in high school, senior in high school. No one had it really. It wasn't like as everyone was like communicating. The year after 98, 99, it really took off where people were just messaging all the time. But computers weren't even in every house back then. They were still ridiculous money. You had to.
They were a couple grand.
Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah.
For the more
What were you going to say, Joey?
The more seasoned gentlemen, did you guys ever meet up with someone that you talked to in the chat room? Then you got to know them. Did you ever actually like meet up?
So sadly, I was married by the time chat rooms came along. So
that's where you met your ex-wife.
Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. I remember when I was in high school, there was one cat that had a computer where you still had to take the telephone receiver and put it on the modem. And in that moment, I went to his house and he showed me how it worked. And right then, I understood why he got his lunch money taken all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and at that particular moment,
and he had some kind of Bruce Lee game that was ridiculous, and that was it. That was my experience with computers while I was in high school. When I got out, like I said, I just heard that. Who played that?
I think that was making sense. That's awesome.
I got you.
Going back in time.
He's probably got a soundboard right next to him.
Gotta have the soundboard.
Wait, am I the only one here that remembers trying to watch porn as you had to watch it load a little bit at a time, like trip for a picture?
I remember. Wow.
I
remember that.
I don't like the way Cannoli's laughing right now. You know what I'm saying?
There's a lot I want to say, but I'm on, shout outs to Ross. I'm not going to say it on his screen.
Like I tell you every time, man, be you. Don't hold back. I don't care.
No, I know. I don't want to get graphic. Listen, it took about 20 minutes to get a JPEG, like an image to load. This guy's talking videos. I mean, how long was he sitting there with the lotion? He just was waiting to see like a 10-second clip.
That's how you gain stamina, brother. Stamina.
Right. The original edging. You had that.
That's edging right there. Yeah.
The original edging.
That was like the speed test back in the day. You used to use that airplane app. It would share like a picture of a fighter jet, and you'd be like, "How fast is the internet working?" And it would be like,
terrible.
And if you were under a minute, you were like, "I got the fastest internet ever. This is the greatest."
The best thing
a minute.
Yeah, man. That's how I saw Pamela and
Tommy.
Yep.
Video, which is actually like one of the first pornos that actually made it to the interwebs, man.
Yeah, it got popular.
I've been watching that TV show that they got on Hulu. It's crazy.
Shout out to the One Night in Paris. Paris Hilton from Inner.
That was another one.
One Night in
I had the
Paris.
VHS tape. It was blue. The tape was actually blue.
That was like 18 years ago.
Did it come with the fragrance?
It would have been great marketing if it did, but I don't think that was the directions. It was the original Kardashian, right?
Pretty much. Famous for nothing.
Right,
Yeah,
because
she was.
Tommy and Pam's was stolen. It wasn't meant to be uploaded, where I think Paris Hilton knew what she was doing, right?
Yeah, she knew what she was doing. Look at her now.
Yeah, the simple life,
So Brian, when you watched the show, how did you feel? I was watching it and I didn't expect Tommy to get in an argument with his hog.
That was so awesome. If you guys haven't seen it, I'm not spoiling anything for you. Tommy Lee talks to his dick. It's great. I'm just so flabbergasted. I try to warn people. I'm like, you are going to see a lot of nudity, but you also have to remember none of it's real. Like her boobs, they put those on every single day. Everything's fake. Every nudity, naked scene in that, except butts, is all completely fabricated.
So now I'm not going to watch it. That's what
I'm watching the viewer number drop steadily, guys.
They don't like talking about Sam and Tom.
Because they're on their way to watch the video right now.
30s. I couldn't tell you the last time I had a live stream that only had 30-something viewers.
They're on their way to watch the video.
Right. They're all like, "Oh, Hulu."
Yeah. Pam and Tommy, what? Huh?
What I'm trying to do, Ross, is I'm trying to help you get some sponsorship. Hulu. Come on, dude.
That's what it is. All right.
Yeah. But no, he was. I think it's a pretty creative series. Actually, I think it's pretty good. I think it's hilarious.
That's awesome. Now the question is, does it motivate you enough during the show to actually get you to argue and yell at Tommy's dick too?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
freaking idiot.
It brings you in.
Who wouldn't want to die and come back as Tommy Lee's?
Yeah, I get in an argument with my own penis during that show, and I'm like, why can't you look more like Tommy's?
Oh,
why are you, like that kind of thing? What are you gonna do?
Man, especially for the
Ooh, Melly Mel, Jesus Christ, $20 super chat. Mel,
hey,
man. Thank you. Shout outs to Melly Mel Shaves. Ross cannot stay and hanging out with the fam. Just wanted to wish you and everyone here a great weekend. One love from beautiful Pensacola, Florida.
Yeah.
Cheers to you, my man. I appreciate the super chat. Thank you so much. Man, he's coming through, hitting with $20. You know, that's nice of him.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah. I get them here and there. I don't sit there and I don't need them. It's not why I'm doing it, but it's nice when people do feel the need to do it. Nobody has to do it, you know.
It's a great way to show support for the
yeah, it's
Let's
nice.
just not
I had
take
a couple bucks early, 5, 10, stuff like that.
It's a personal thank you. It's like a handshake, you know.
Right.
It's kind of like a virtual pat on the back, I guess you could say.
You know,
Adam,
hey,
Adam.
I appreciate you. Here you go.
You know, I've been, because we were on the topic earlier about like different subscription networks and watching TV versus this and all the different things. Like, I know like Joey's had it. I've actually even started getting emails and stuff sent to me too. They're like, hey, you know, your stuff is great. I don't even watch, you know, Hulu or any, like,
yeah,
we just tip you out now.
They say this is my Netflix or this is my streaming. I mean, when these people tune in 5 nights a week for hours at a time, you know, they're there because they find it entertaining, and that is their way of giving back and saying, why pay a subscription monthly when I can throw you a tip? It's very appreciated. So
shout out to Barry getting raunchy. It's like a virtual BJ.
Yeah,
that too.
Who doesn't like those? You know.
Yeah.
Shout out to
I
Barry.
like the real thing a little bit better. I'm just gonna be honest there.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, you got to take what you can.
I'll take whatever I can get.
Right, take what you can get.
I'm running out of peanut butter. Me and my dog. I'm just
kidding.
Ross, I'm just going to recap.
Somebody.
Ross, I'm going to recap real quick. It's okay, guys. You can say whatever you want to say. It's absolutely okay to bring up anything you'd like on my stream. Showing the love to the peanut butter.
Yeah,
that's the Peter Pan. Oh.
They're not going to look at me at the peanut butter with the dog. They're going to look at him.
Valid, very valid. I like the game over sign behind you, Ross. What is
Thank
that?
you, sir.
Is that LED or what is that thing?
That is
LED.
That is
a PlayStation.
I like that. Yeah.
PlayStation icons on it as well. I got other way. Xbox behind.
Oh yeah, Xbox behind you.
You just can't really see them too well because I'm blocking it.
Yeah, the game over one. I mean, the PlayStation one. I'm not gonna lie. Every time I walk by, we almost buy one. I don't know why.
I got like 4. They're all over the room. I got 4 of them. They show up randomly around the holidays at Marshall's for $15.
Yeah, they're there right now. I walked by them yesterday because we all still walk by the fragrance rack at Marshall's because that's what we do.
First place I go.
I actually just picked up Oceana from Prada. I haven't, or what was it called? Ocean. Yeah, I haven't opened it yet, but I just picked it up.
From
Not from there, not from Marshalls. From Macy's.
Yeah. Don't run to Marshalls, guys. Watching, he did not find it at Marshalls.
No, I did not. But you know how many people, most people don't believe you find really good fragrances at Marshalls. I think we talked about this back when you were around like 1,000 subs or something, Ross. I had picked up
It's changed a lot for them, though. It's not.
Yeah, it's way worse. It's not even close to what it was. But I had got Creed Royal Oud, a 4-ounce for like $80.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dude, Matt has found 250 mLs of the 16L01 batch or something like that of Creed Aventus at TJ Maxx. This is over the last couple of years. It's not recent, but that stuff is out there. I've seen Bond No. 9 Shea Ball. Stuff like that pops up. I picked up 2 bottles of Aqua de Parma, but it's not like that. I got
sent a piece from him for her Chinatown, like 6 different bonds from there. They were all $100 or less.
The last surprising niche I found was Mancera Velvet Vanilla. I found for $80 at TJ Maxx. That's the last time, and I ended up giving it to my wife. It's a little too feminine for me. She likes it, but it's just too much. It's too much.
Do you think they don't get them the way they used to, or you think because of the popularity of the community now they're just going so fast? I
don't know. There's a lot of determining factors, I would think, because like it goes back to the pandemic topic when George was on here earlier. A lot changed when that happened, because that's a few months into that is when it kind of started to shift to where it's harder to find good stuff now.
Yeah,
there's still stuff out there. You still come across some. Thank God I found this. Oh, it was only $20 and it's $40, $50 online. That still happens. It's just so few and far between now, at least for me. That's why I don't do near as many rack store videos anymore. I still go to the rack stores all the time, and I'll start filming, and then I get to the fragrance section and I turn my camera off.
Yeah.
I have not.
Yeah, I
been
pop
all
in,
day.
but nothing ever there.
Yeah, because that's the first thing I did. I went to Burlington a couple of days ago, and it was ridiculous. And normally that's where I find stuff, and it was just, it kind of saddened me because it's like I'm like 0 for 5 in my last 5 trips to rack stores, where it's like it wasn't even worth continuing to film and dig further. It was just that abysmal.
Yeah, my Burlington had one. So usually, like, there's like, I don't know, 4 racks down, 4 racks deep. There was the top rack, and that was it. There was hardly anything on that, too. So
Now, look, for the holidays, it was okay.
Yeah,
but it still wasn't phenomenal. But they had a variety everywhere I went. But it was a lot of stuff I have already that I'll be interested in the first place.
Yeah, I don't remember the last time I got something from a rack store that I was like, wow, or even somewhat excited about. I think I saw, and I almost bought it, but I just didn't buy it. It was Obsession on clearance the other day. I don't have that, which is funny with my collection. Yeah, exactly. My wife laughs though when we go to the store and I look at the fragrances. She just looks at me and starts to shake her head. Now she's like, "Now, mind you,
that's where I'm going."
Yeah, but on top of like the real bottles or whatever, there's 270 of these filled, maybe more, all around here. So she's like, "Can't you just make that?" I'm like, "That's not the point." I'm like, "That's not the point."
That's a good point.
I'm like, I still want to smell the bottle. I want to see how the sprayer works. I want to, depending on what it is. But I haven't found anything like Ocean from Prada. That whole Luna Rossa line, I love. I have I have 4 bottles of Extreme. I mean, it's one of those things that when you enjoy it, like the Prada L'Homme and all those different fragrances, I love all of those. So I'll buy those. If I ever got rid of everything, I would still keep Green Irish Tweed and then all of those. Just because.
I can't say I blame you. It's hard to argue with. It's all good stuff. It's all quality
And
for being
the
a designer.
When you guys go to those, oh, you look good. Oh, sorry, the wife distracted me. You look good, babe. When you guys go to those rack stores and you're kind of doing your thing and you're clearly well versed in what you're doing, and whether you're a collector or you're a reviewer, do you ever run into other people there and you kind of like look at them and you're like, when they're like next to you and you're looking at fragrances, do you feel judgmental towards them? Like do you feel superior when you're standing next to these nobodies and you're just sitting there and you're like, what are you gonna do? Buy a bottle of Canoe? Get out of here. Like, do you ever feel like
I had a guy in Burlington one time, older dude, and I'm going through everything, and he grabs me. He's like, "Excuse me, man." He's like, "Do you understand about this stuff?" And I was, and my girlfriend, of course, goes, "Oh yeah, he's real into this." And he's like, "So my wife told me it's time for me to get a cologne," and he had never owned one ever, and he was like, "Yeah."
So you had pressure on you.
I did, but so I was like, you know how that works. Like, you don't know what somebody likes. You don't know what his wife is going to like, obviously.
You take a shot in the dark with the recommendation.
Yeah, so I was like, look, Perry Ellis 360 Red was there, and I was like, you know what, you'll probably be okay with this one, it's pretty cheap and stuff. But yeah, that's the only time I had anything like that happen, where he had no clue what he was doing, and he didn't want to upset the missus, I guess, when he got home. So I felt that was safe.
I've recommended fragrances to people that I knew were steals and they didn't realize what they had, and they'll take it, and then I'll kind of go around the corner and peek at them, and you'll watch them put it back, and I'm like, prick. I'm just like, I did you a favor. I was looking out for you.
Humoring you until you walk away.
Right. I'm gonna pretend like there was some Dylan Blue. It was a travel, not like a travel one, like a 17 ml. He's looking around. I'm like, I'm gonna let you know right now, everything here is a dump. I'm like, this is your best bet. It's not priced outrageous. And I'm like, it's Versace. Guy takes it.
Put it back.
I walk away. He puts it back. I look at him. I take it. And I look and I go and shake. And I go like this at him. And I just walk away. I just look at that like, yeah,
you asshole.
You know what you did? I didn't buy it. I own a bottle. But I just, I tried.
Yesterday, actually.
Yeah, I tried to do a good deed. I don't understand. Or like or when there's a guy just cleaning out all the gift sets on you, and you know that he knows his shit, and you're like, you prick.
I've seen people doing that where they got a stack of gift sets.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, damn, dude, really?
Yeah.
You need all that? Or are you trying to resell it? What the fuck are you doing?
Normally resell it, right?
Normally
But
resell, yeah. That's what I would say.
Just
I like
trying
to
to.
do, I like to do the showdown where you walk in there and somebody's looking at something and you're like, oh shit, is he gonna take it? Like, I want that.
Right.
You're just like,
Right.
and you just take it. You're like, all right, dude, first,
Look,
I got it first. And
I've
you just walk.
put pressure on people like that before where I see something that interests me and it's the only one, and this person just picked it up and they're looking at it, and I'm literally standing like a foot from them just watching the bottle. Like I know they feel me looking at it, and I'm clearly giving you the vibe that you better walk away with it because I've already committed to if you put it down, it's mine,
Same.
And I've had times where they walk away with it, and I've had times where I'm like, all right, cool, got it.
Got it, nailed it.
Yeah. I've persuaded people into putting back what I wanted by recommending something else. Like I'm a monster. I swear to God, I'm like, yo, this is great, bro. Right?
That's
They're
awesome.
like, yeah, I own a bottle of this, man. I paid retail for it, and when I got home, it just didn't smell the same on my skin, bro. It's really disappointing. But then I ended up buying this bottle, right? And I just
Right.
You want to get all of the Polo Club right here.
Right.
That's awesome.
Polo Club. Get it all.
Yeah, so Beverly Hills Polo Club telling you high scale stuff. Don't let the price
go low. Right.
The Playboys.
Yeah.
I got a bottle of Playboy VIP, and I think it smells fantastic. I mean, it's a cheap piece of shit, but Playboy VIP smells great. Like the cologne version. I don't know if you guys have smelled VIP at all. It's a gourmand. It's really good.
Yeah, it's good. It is good.
You know what's funny is more common than not, I give these things away when I have them. I told you that like the last 2 days in a row there. But if someone will say something like, "Oh man, you smell like that smells good," or whatever the thing is, and whenever they ask me what it is, I just give them the bottle I'm wearing because it's always one of these. It's like a business card. Here you go.
Hey, I was just going to say that.
Great business card.
Yeah. And it was funny. Joey's stream last night when they were on, I had jumped on because I just picked up a drink for my wife at Dunkin' Donuts. She likes those peach refreshers from Dunks. And when I went through, the kid at the counter was staring at me like this at the window. Like, I mean, we're that far away. He just kept staring at me. He kept opening the door. And I'm like, hi. And he just said something like, he's like, I got to ask, what are you wearing? I was like, that's dope. Like, first off, you like when someone says something like that.
Yeah.
And it was just my version of Curve. So it was altered course. And I was like, oh man. I'm like, that's awesome. Thank you so much. I was like, I made this, and I showed him the bottle. I was like, that's amazing. I was like, you know what? Here you go. Thank you for help tonight.
Then he did a TikTok with it.
That'd be awesome, right?
Throws it down, starts doing a Fortnite dance.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it smashes.
Smashes it on the ground and just does a little dance on it. Oh, could you imagine?
Oh yeah, that's shitty. That would be hilarious. If I saw the video, I'd probably cry. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, really legit. Last time, right?
The dude made my night and then ruined it. On the one shot.
All right,
yeah,
gents,
no, that's
gotta
awesome.
get going. I'm gonna.
Yeah,
go.
I was about to say I'm kind of getting kind of hungry. I think I'm about to go eat some dinner here in just a minute too.
Nice.
So we probably go ahead and shut it down. But fellas, thank you all for jumping on. This was
Great to see you all.
man. Absolutely fun. Sorry I didn't catch you for long, Joey. I wish.
All right.
I should have sent you the link like an hour
I
ago.
seen a full house. I was like, "Yo, what's going on?" And then I seen Chad was here, and I've been wanting to catch up with Chad. So it was
Well,
pretty
as soon as I saw your name pop up, I grabbed my phone.
Yeah,
Shit,
hit me
hey,
up.
George,
Hit me
Messenger.
up. Yeah. It's all good. No, I still had a great time with you guys, So
I appreciate it. Well, this was impromptu. I had the idea last night. I didn't really say nothing. I just kind of promoted it 2 hours before randomly. And it was fun. Had a variety of people. Thank you to everybody that was on, George and everybody that was here earlier, Scott, all you guys. And thank you everybody on screen. Thank you everybody that's been here the whole time, or even if you've been here for 5 minutes. I greatly appreciate all of you. And be on the lookout. Make sure you got the notification bell hit so you know when I'm going to do these live streams, because you never know. Most of the time, they're random and out of the blue. And make sure you check out everybody's channels linked in the description. Check out their content. You might see something you like. You might end up turning that red subscribe button gray.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks for having me, man.
There, gents. See you all good afternoon or evening.
Have a great weekend, guys.
Later,
Don't spoil the Batman.